It's been so long. Oh man. Oh, oh my God. Oh. Give me a sec. Where are my dumb faces? Good. Yeah, it's going. That's going. That's good. Oh, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Oh, but try not to get emotional or tear up in this, although I am running on a severe deficit of sleep. Like a severe deficit. But hopefully it'll be okay. It's been too long, I missed you guys, and oh my God, I've been through. Okay, listen, I love my family to death. Okay, I'll say that first and foremost. I'll probably wait to get into the details, but man, I think I'm running on like maybe. I've been up for basically I think like 38 hours. I think, which I know doesn't sound like that much. But you'd be surprised how much like 2 hours of sleep here and then like 3 hours of sleep here and you're just like nonstop moving. Boy, your soul eviscerated from your body. But yes, I have got so much to talk to you guys about our vacation, as well as I'm sorry to be such a sappy bastard about it, but boy howdy was I got a lot of like existential crisis type stuff that I discovered with this trip, man. With the vacation, I should say. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get into my dumbness, how are you? What have you guys been doing since we've been gone? I have been slacking, by the way. I as always, had a bunch of stuff that I was like, I'm going to be able to do this, and then that. And then not realizing, nope, most of that is not happening. Most of that is, in fact, not happening. Like I mentioned, yes. So we'll talk about it. What have you been doing? Also, what's Bolty? What have you been doing, Bolty? What have you been doing this entire 3-week span? Also, did you guys like the videos I made when we're gone? I feel like I don't know about that Let It Die video. That Let It Die video is one that I was like, do I want to open back up this whole can of worms? And yes. Also, I got interesting to tell you guys. I think I can tell you guys about that Let It Die thing as well. There's a probability that it could be a scam, but someone reached out to me, in like that works for like an ad sale sponsorship thing through Gung Ho, Grass Manufacturer, essentially people who make Let It Die. And before I made that video, they reached out. I had the video ready to go up to date, and then on my vacation, before I hit publish on that video, I see the email pop up and it's like, hey, we want to sponsor some content and a couple streams for an upcoming announcement or something. Who knows what's happening? And I would just see it, and I thought I better let that video come up before I reply. And even then, I still don't know if I'd do it. That's what I want to talk to you guys about a little bit. But anyways. Also, we were streaming a whopping 2 minutes early. But ladies and gentlemen, should we just get into it? Should we immediately get into it? First of all, I do not look as tan as I am. I don't think I look incredibly tan. Also, thank you to Fluff for the gameplay in the background. We're watching one of Fluff's streams where he's streaming Cyberpunk. Shout out to him. I think I've seen he's playing a furry animal creature, which honestly in Cyberpunk kind of adds up. Kind of makes sense that there'd be some weird body mod things. Also, there is not quite booba, but kind of booba. Oh, and the booba is actually peering out through the clothes. Good to know that bug is still present within the game. Anyways, but yes, I don't know if I look particularly tan. I'm like maybe you guys can see my arm. No, I don't look. Maybe it's also the lighting. The lighting like that, opposed to the back of my hand. Okay, that's helpful. The light of my hand. Back of my hand is excessive, but I digress. It turns out sunscreen does a great job by keeping you not so crazy. And honestly, there's something nauseating just having like steaming heat dome you right in the forehead, and it makes me have like a migraine. So I was wearing my hat and a bunch of sunscreen on my face, and I was doing kind of okay. But it says, not much, been lazing around after my test. Yeah, but you deserve it because you just went crazy, grind hard with your tests, right? So at least you're even doing that. I feel like Oh man, it's so weird, Multi. I would like to say that like 3 weeks is way too long, but yes. What's good, Lone?
Lone Syndicate said, "What's up, Grin?"
What's good, Lone? How are you, boyo? We started a little bit early, just like I think 4 or 5 minutes early, but what do you call it? Yes. How are you, Lone? What you get up to, Lone? I'm so fucking depressed, by the way, man. I'll talk about this a lot, a little bit. I couldn't play ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero. I couldn't play it on my vacation because the way I made an account was via doing this basically through the Google auto login thing. And apparently Google auto login is not the same thing as just making an account using your Google email. It's a different thing, at least on Hoyo. So anyways, I ended up going on vacation and trying to like log into my account with my email. But no, it's only through the auto thing, and I'd be like, it's totally fine, right? Because on PC, you just hit like auto login to Zenless through your PC, and it'll like automatically log into whatever browser you have you're logged in for Google, and it'll work. Apparently on mobile, it doesn't do that. It gives you Twitter, like a bunch of other ones that you can use as like a auto login thing, but not fucking Google. But it does do it on the PC version. So what the F? And you go to the site and you can auto log it. It's just absolute dog shit. I have plenty of mine would give you, Multi. Just give me a hot minute. Yeah, I talked about that too. I started watching Pick Me Up, and it's good. It's just not what I kind of expected. It's also not kind of what I wanted at the time. Like I'm pretty good about feeling out what I really want right now. Like I really want like a really good base builder, kingdom builder manhwa. That's not the estate developer one.
Lone Syndicate said, "Yeah, Grin missed out on Yuzaha."
Yeah, I thought I did the math in my head. Terrible math. I thought I did the math that showed me that I was gonna be able to get back in time to get her, but I wasn't. So I missed out on all of the like primo gem grind. So that's gone, and she was like easily the best character that's coming up power wise, I think. Like especially for support. So maybe there's like a DPS that's crazy, but knowing Zenless, there's gonna be like a support character that enables them even more. And anyways, so I'm a little bit bent about that. I was sad. I was trying to get Lone to like log into my Zenless account and go, but it didn't work because it's auto logged in through my PC. So in order to do that, I'd have to give Lone my access to my Google account and auto log in that. But I wouldn't even trust my parents with my Google account because it's like my years of YouTube content on there. And if like, I don't know, maybe like Lone has a sibling in the house and they're gonna get to his PC and fucking delete my whole. It's insane, but like in my head, I don't trust anyone with that because it's so important to me. So I wasn't comfortable with doing that. But yes, so today. Today we're just gonna do a lot of reactions as well as talk about our vacation. I say our vacation. I mean when I say our, I mean my family. Well, you guys are probably maybe there in spirit, but not quite there. Yes. So let's scroll up to the tippity top. Forget about my existential dread. Maybe we shouldn't get into this just yet. Let's keep this going before we get into it. We have a lot of stuff to react to as well. Holy shit, we have a bunch of Borderlands shit to look at because holy crap, I'm excited for that. And I haven't seen any of the Amon trailers. I waited for the stream. I guess
Lone
you guys
Syndicate
didn't do
said,
that.
understandable.
Rude.
I trust anyone with years of my hard work either.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like it's not that I wouldn't trust you. It's just that how do I put it? If something bad happened, it would be. I wouldn't want to resent you, so I don't want to put you in that position in which something bad could happen, like a family member, or maybe like even just a happen chance, like I get hacked, and you're the correlative thing there. I don't want that, right? So I don't want to put you in that position either. Anyways, but yeah, we should be able to grind Zenless back up again. It's just a shame because that was the character that I think was such a powerhouse. Anyways, we got a bunch of good old Borderlands stuff to react to. We also got some insane news that I was totally gonna miss, which is Darksiders 4. And fucking, this better be with death, all right? It makes it look like it's gonna be from like the Hell guy. This should absolutely be about death. If they fucking shafted us and didn't give us a game, Strife. If they shafted us and did not get us a game, a solo game with Strife, who's like that cool ass dude with guns, I'm pissed. They made like a shitty off-brand one that was like a top-down run-around thing. If that was his game, I'm gonna be peeved. Anyways, I hope that's what this one is. Anyway, we got some cool we call it, Sky Oblivion Dev Diary, the last one. Again, we'll see how they bring the noise now that this actual Oblivion was out. But anyways, and yeah, it's fluff side gameplay that we have in the background. All right. Let's start with the stuff that I'm trying to think of. Well, first of all, let me say this. I
McFlufferkins said Darksiders 4 implies it's a 4-player co-op, so no solo Strife game. Genesis might be considered his solo game, despite it being co-op with War.
That is. You're probably right, but it is the most disgusting thing that they're like, let's give one with War, or not War. What's the lady's name? Envy. I don't know what the hell her name is. Pestilence. I don't know, some shit. I'm saying death, but anyways, it's just a shame because Strife, I think, was everyone's like, that one looks the coolest. Death maybe first, actually, but then Strife, and then the fucking War guy. Who cares? Looks like a Sephiroth looking ass. Anyways, boys, what's good, Fluff? What's good, buddy? How was the streaming? Hopefully good. So to give you guys a heads up on the nightmare hell that my 38 hours has been, I have not slept. Essentially, this is what happened. We had a whole day, whole 16-hour day. And then we went to bed at maybe 10, and then we woke up, and I'm probably being generous. I probably went to bed around 11:40, so 12. And then we woke up at 3 to then go to the airport to then start a just sprint of 27 hours of go to flights, more flights, sitting in chairs, all that stuff. But there was something kind of cool. We got upgraded to the on one of our longest flights, which was about 8 hours. It was actually 6 or 7, but they just say anyways. It was a 7-hour flight. We got upgraded to the highest tier seats ever. So we got these cool complimentary toiletries and a cool ass pill type seat in which you could fully recline, and it made me be like, wow, that was incredible. But man, I am exactly the opposite. Was it white trash? Is that bullshit? Native trash? Okay, feels a little bit worse. I don't know how I'm saying that. Anyways, but they gave us these fancy meals, and the whole time I was thinking, dude, we had this fire ass airport instant meal that was chicken, the best. The sauce on it, 10. Everything, 10. The bread that came with it, 10. The little cookie thing, 10.
Lone Syndicate said, Grin,
shit.
I almost have all my parts for the PC. The monitor came yesterday, and the GPC and keyboard are coming Saturday.
I can't wait, but I was like, oh shit, I almost looks like you were ready, but I read some comments and you're like, oh no, you're almost there. So I'm hyped, man. I can't wait. Chip away at that slowly, especially when it comes to making it. You have the luxury of already having stuff, that you're I think you use a tablet dominantly, or a laptop, dominantly. So you can use that and slowly chip away at it. I did mine one whole day or night, and I was like, oh fuck. I ended up staying up late to try to finish it. Anyways, but yeah, the fancy people food, which was it was this gross ass rice mixed with some sort of paste, and it was cold, and it was wrapped in a leaf, a purple leaf. And it just tasted soggy, and the texture was gross, and it had a really mild nothing taste as well. And I'm just put sauce on it, man. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I want something to taste like a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I like ketchup so much, is because you put anything on ketchup and it just tastes like ketchup. Anyways, TLDR. I hope Fluff also put it to it depends on what he wants. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But in regard, you want to start with the one you don't use with this weapon. It's weird. With the kill weapon or the non-kill weapon, because it will auto default to whatever you mainly use or you started with. Anyways, yes. So that's gonna happen a lot, by the way. I am loose. I'm loopy. I'm tired. I'm brought to life only because I have a coffee and energy drink right here that I'm gonna get after. All right, as we get through this. Yeah, we basically went nonstop for 27 hours. And then you think then you're good, right? Nope, because we were planning on going to to spending one night in this location. And then making the voyage to my other location. But anyways, what was shitty is I knew this shit was gonna happen. That people who I was traveling with were going to want to go immediately to home because they're homesick. They just want to immediately say hey, let's just go for the drive and go home, which would take a few hours. And to me, I was well, I thought the whole point was for us to get to this location, get a hotel, sleep, recover, get back on our time zone schedule, and then in the morning head out. That made sense. But instead, as I was sitting there reading manhwa on an airplane, I look over, and the two people I'm traveling with are 100% asleep, and I'm sitting there fighting to stay awake, like kicking my head up like this constantly as I'm dropping, and yes, and then it happened. So then I thought, like, okay, after like, I don't know, it's 38 hours, maybe something like that, because we had like 16 hours and then like 27 hours, and then we were supposed to have to go to bed. I got 2 hours to 3 hours of sleep, and then we went at 3 p.m. We woke up 3 a.m. and just immediately left because the people who I was traveling with were not going to be able to go to sleep. Or not able to go to sleep.
McFlufferkin said I slot all of my weapons with a PAX mod, so even though I selected Stone Cold Killer, Skippy would just go.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, shit. I didn't know that was a feature. Was that a part of the new one? I didn't think that was a thing that you could turn back the gun into a non-kill gun. All right. So that was me traveling the last little spurt. That's why I want to tell you guys how, if I may be like delirious.
Lone Syndicate said also, Grin, I didn't even have to sacrifice my gacha for the PC either. I got Alice yesterday, gonna get her engine tomorrow and her swimsuit skin.
Let's go. Nice. Yeah, Alice looked neat. I didn't see any videos pop up yet, but I've seen some stuff. I don't know about the Zenless situation. I don't know what I should go on. I don't know if I should go on Saber Girl. Probably not. But I don't even know if I want to go on the one that I thought I did, because it kind of she doesn't look like what she looked like in the trailer. The one that was like Jane Doe for the other region. She has like a pistol on her gun, or pistol tail. Yeah, the next character I wanted to get was a support character, which makes it all the more painful that I couldn't play Zenless and do the polls there. I thought I was going to be able to come back by the time the banner was back, but I was 2 days off my estimate, unfortunately. But anyways, okay, let's get this done with. Let's rock with this. Okay, so let's go through the vacation. And I will try to be... Do not worry about the texts. I'll explain the weird, long, rambling texts. But we got to the airport. It was great. It actually wasn't great. The beginning of our vacation to Portugal was, in fact, a absolute nightmare.
McFlufferkin said, well, didn't realize I needed to be staying on the ball for the seashell exchange. Won't have enough days to get all 14. Alas.
Oh, no. For what was this? What was it for the seashell thing? Oh, damn it. Did I miss something? Anyways, I missed so much, especially with Sandals. Our trip immediately started off with help with chaos.
I'd say don't go for Alice. If you don't have Yuzuha, Alice is kind of made to go with Yuzuha, while Yuzuha can go anywhere.
Pain. But I got you. Makes sense. Damn it. Damn it. Anyways, the reason why our trip started off with such chaos, man, is because we ended up there did this last minute changing your seats, and now we were all scattered all over the place. Then we went to talk to someone to help us, be like, hey, what's happening with our seats? Why did they last minute change? The airlines are horrible and they're chaos and all that stuff. Anyways, this guy was trying to help, but he was clearly not in a position that he could help. He didn't know what he was doing. So he ended up actually making the situation exponentially worse. And then ended up just basically kicking us away. Well, I don't know, maybe phone the airline. And we're like, well, wait, what? It's worse now than when you helped. And then finally his superior kind of seen what was going on. So then he kind of she came forward and was like, hey, what's happening? And then she basically, we started eavesdropping. We could hear that she was like, why did you do that? It's a super easy fix. You just do this and this and this, and now they're good. And now you've basically taken them all off the plane, and now we have to find them new seats on a different plane just to be able to get to them in this place. And that was 4 hours of us just being like, are we fucked? Was this doomed from the start? Yes, it was. Yes, absolutely was. And that was basically the entire
McFlufferkin said it's a daily exchange item event. Get the items from spending battery once a day.
Oh.
And there's tilde 4 days left.
Oh.
Might be able to manage with 1 free and 1 earned each day.
Maybe. But that's for Zenless? Gotcha. I haven't played Zenless. I haven't logged in 3 weeks because I just couldn't get access to it on my app. I went through it a little bit at the beginning of the stream. Anyways. But, so the start of the thing, doomed from the start. Not so good. What's good, Stitch? How are you, buddy? We missed you. I missed all of you. but anyways, the first initial push to get to Portugal, awful. Most things that went wrong, in fact, went wrong. In fact, the worst part about all this was that my friggin' bag that I was stupid enough to put in 80% of my wardrobe in, because my wardrobe is paper thin. I wear really thin exercise shirts essentially, or fitness shirts, so you can compress them all into a fucking wedge. Anyways, my bay got fucking lost. And I was like, oh my fucking God, that's terrible. And already, I'll kind of be honest, I'm kind of out. I'll talk more about this probably when we get into the actual vacation part of it. But, yeah. Needless to say, this was like a kick in the stomach when I was already feeling very not on board with this whole thing. Anywho, TLDR, like in 4 or 5 days, the suitcase ended up coming back, so at least there was that. But it was like heavily damaged. It was like the fucking giant punch was in the side of it, like a bent metal bar that was holding the thing in structure, dented, I should say, really dented. Yeah, mess. Needless to say, one highlight with the first couple days was there was this really cute Asian lady who was wearing a baseball cap and like short shorts and like a red t-shirt. T-shirt. You immediately know the vibe. And she came up to ask me, is this the line in which we go to figure out what to do in broken English? And I was like, I think so. And she looked at me like that didn't make any sense. So then I pointed, and then she waited there, and I thought, great. But anyways, that was nice. But we finally get to Portugal. I'm like, yes, motherfucker, I beat jet lag. So I ended up going to bed at the right time. It was all good. I ended up waking up as my tired ass looking at a Portuguese sunrise, which apparently if I waking up at 6 p.m., we beat the sun. Hella cool. Boom. A better shot. Thank you, me. Look at that. Nice. It's also weird. Also, everything in Portugal is built like everything probably outside of the West is built like a brick shit tut, like huge fucking dense ass walls, all that. Bunkers, essentially. Also, weirdly tall ceilings. It's weird. Like, you'll have like a lot of dirt and like not paved or like perfectly straight sidewalks. And then have like fucking absurdly high ceilings. And you're like, why? Why? Anyways, I don't understand, but sure. Also, in the hot as hell place like Portugal, they don't have basements, which is weird to me because it's storage and it's also just like a cooler temperature. Anywho, there's the Nong and Bolty were both being sweet. Or not Nong, sorry. No, Nong. Nong was saying that you could get like like your money back, which is very helpful. But I didn't do that because it did come. But we probably should do that just because 20K would be insane if you could just get that just on like the fact of an inconvenience. Anyways, and here begins the problem. I remember when I was a kid, man, I loved me the goddamn beach. Mainly because it was access to water. The beach is a lie. The beach is a false memory in my brain, and I bet it is for you too. You know why? Because the beach has this giant ocean, and it's full of fucking salt. So you go in there, you taste salt in your mouth, as well as probably a galactic amount of piss, which is from fish and from people also swimming beside you, because they're horrifying, and there's literally a porta potty right there, but you just decided to go piss in the ocean because you're a filthy monster. Anyways, yes, so you go into the water, you come up, you taste salt in your mouth. Disgusting. You dive in the water, you slightly open your eyes, see what's going on. Fucking stinging pain because salt's in your eyes. You then leave. This is what really got me. This is the main problem. You then leave to go dry off in the sun. Then the salt crystallizes on your clothing so that when you put on any clothing after you, it snags on the salt crystals embedded in your pores. That's what got me disgusted, because I couldn't get comfortable after I left the ocean. It just like stays with you. Also, your hair becomes the most dense thing on the planet because it's filled with fucking salt. The beach is a lie. Here's my hairy legs. You do not get feet, you freak. Freak. Anyways, but the sand was nice. This is some cool pictures of like Portugal villa things. Here's me. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I feel like I look good here. I don't know what kind of like weird like thing I had happen. I thought I was inflamed, but I guess I don't know. I feel like it's a good shot of me. Anyways, did not mean to take a picture of this guy. This guy was just in the vicinity. By the way, we were at a whopping total of 12 titties out on Portugal. This is a weird tradition that my family always have because we went when we were kids, and we were always like boobies, and my mom was like chill. But yes, that is in fact what that was. 8 boobies on the beaches, essentially. Only 2 were in fact nice. Most of the other ones are just old women who are like, I can't care anymore. And I'm like, yep, okay. But anyway, but this one was just a nice image. I thought one thing you guys gotta know about me is I'm a hermit, so like going anywhere is like, wow, that's incredible. In fact, this is an existential crisis. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about it now. So, also, by the way, in our vacation, so hell, like at the beginning of our journey, hell, traveling hell. We get there. My suitcase is gone, so I have no stuff for the first 3 days. Fantastic. Hell. Then, my brother gets sick and then infects me, and then I'm kind of okay for like the first 2 weeks, and then I get just eviscerated the last week. That's why I'm sniffling, is because I am still sick because of that. Anyways, so right around this time, and this is where we're getting kind of weirdly serious for a little bit, because I kind of like being honest because it helps me think through things a little bit. At this point, I started to kind of get weird with me. I found out that I might... it's tough, because I think the reason why I speak about it in this way, and I even use this kind of similar language of like, my brain is broken, or these kind of things. I'm not trying to infantilize this or like blow this out of proportion. I'm just trying to find a word that represents how strongly I feel about something. So it's not that I'm trying to be hyperbolic, it's just that every word I use that's not that doesn't feel quite meaty enough to actually like represent how I feel kind of off, if that makes sense. So what do you mean? What do you mean, Grin, that you felt off? As we were running around these like beautiful beaches, Portugal's gorgeous. It's like rolling hills. So much stuff there is just drop dead fantastic. But it is a really like hollowing feeling to like see the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen, be surrounded with the family that you would love to death and enjoy spending time with and think they're brilliant and fantastic. I could rave about my family to death, and about how brilliant they all are. But to be around all of these situations where like you should be happy, you should be enjoying this, and to be like, and I don't like saying this because I don't want it to reflect upon like my family in any way of like, oh well, you do not like hanging out with us. No. But it's just something, and I don't know if it was something that like is wired in my head, with the very specific situation that I'm currently in. I kind of like have, for over the course of the last 15 years, I've basically tried to like, I've been in a very unique circumstance, which I think people could determine to make a lot of people depressed on average, but I have been happier than anything. I think it's because I've created like a way in my head to reward myself for doing things that are meaningful in some capacity, whether it's like exercise, taking care of your health. This will give you a massive feeling of meaning and purpose and make you feel good. Here's you doing something challenging that you didn't think you could do, but you eventually persevered and you got through it. Here's another reward. Here's this like entertainment medium that's super fast, super immediate, and give you just as much joy about doing a lot of these other things. Boom. I'm referring to like watching a YouTube video being like awesome, like amazing for me. And that's kind of what that's what I kind of came to the conclusion of, which is like, I could say the worst cynical version of this, which is I experienced 90% of what I think 90% of human beings would say, this is awesome, it's so fun, I had a blast, and felt fucking nothing, like zero, or maybe not zero, but like 10% happiness, 20% happiness. And then there was a day where I got sick, and I just watched like a YouTube video on my phone, read a book that I'm trying to learn about entrepreneurship, and pushed past a couple chapters that were really hard for me to understand, and then exercised at the end of the day, and that was the happiest I've ever been. It's like 1,000x that 20%. Yeah. I know that's not how percents work, but anyways, the point is that like the disparity between doing things that most people find joyful and then doing the things that I've somehow conditioned myself to feel immense amounts of like dopamine from, was just such a giant contrasting difference, with the exception of a few things. And they all kind of came back to the three fundamental things that I kind of figured out that I really connect with, at least. So one of those said things was basically going like it basically came back to the same thing of like exercise, which is like you do something that is intrinsically difficult for a reward that you deem meaningful. So we've seen this beautiful, like, I don't know what to really call it, but like this little nice little lake that people swim in, beautiful scenery, the rocks, the whole shebang was awesome. Cool walkways and stuff like that I just thought were neat. And I thought, oh, that's totally what it is. Where like, oh, it's basically like, I like hiking is what I thought. Because I heard Kat talk about that. I like hiking. So I thought, oh, maybe I'm that kind of person. That makes sense, though, because it has a bit of suffering in it. And then you have this, like, reward of a view. But then I went hiking on, like, we went to another beach. So many fucking beaches. And it happened to be on like a cliff edge, like a cliffside with giant rocks on the side. You climb up these trails, you get to see this crazy ocean view. You get to see like people look like tiny little ants. I did that, and I just felt fucking zero, man. I felt like the same feeling of like, okay, it's not that either. So then what is it? What is like causing me to feel like I say like nothing, but sometimes it's just straight up depressed, man. Sometimes you're just like, I feel disgusted by my like the whole thing of it. And disgusted is maybe too strong a word. I didn't get that too often, but it was sometimes where like it was enough. If it wasn't disgusting, it was usually like zero, like feeling like I feel nothing in regards to this. And I don't know. Let's get back to this. So let's take a little break from the serious talk and get back to some fun things. The things that were enjoyable to me. I kind of tried to make this like a mental note for me, where I put like, just to kind of make this thing make sense in my head, which was like, this is 28%. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to with that, it's this percentage of happiness that I felt out of 100 that I could feel. Which, yeah, it's not very high, but we'll get into that. Anyways, the castle was pretty cool. The heat also plays a part in this, I assume, where it's just everything is hot. Most of the days we got there were 27. 37. So fucking hot. I don't know what that is in American temperatures, Fahrenheit. I think it might be almost like close to 100, like 90 something, maybe. I don't know what that is quite, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. Anyways, we've seen this cool castle. Now I wanted to ask the chat, ladies and gentlemen, out of all the souvenirs I possibly got, sorry, what do you think is that souvenir? I got 2 souvenirs. What were the souvenirs that you think I might have been swayed to spend my money in that I didn't have because the plane tickets were like $2,000? So pain and suffering aside, what were the 2 things that I had to get? So let me finish this goddamn coffee real quick. Ooh. Oh, my nose is also blocked. Ooh. If anybody, and I mean anybody, guessed that I...
Loan Syndicate said was one of those souvenirs a mug.
Loan, you're the fucking man. Okay? Of course it was a mug. But it was, in fact, a pretty effing cool mug. What? Oh, I hit the wrong guy. This, sorry. Sick. Anyways, check this out. Is this not one of the most dope as hell mugs that I got from the castle thing? Also, this is how I'm not completely wrecking it. Yes, but it's like a steel mug in there, so I can't heat it up in the microwave, but it's pretty cool. It's also got hella handle, which most things don't have. But what do you think? I also got this one, which some would say it's the same, but it's not. We got this one, and then we had the one I just showed you. Slightly different, but equally cool. And I thought, F, yes. And I really like this one because it has this cool-ass spine plate, like finger thing, which I think is like an added touch. But yes. All right, one on 2. It was disgusting. Man, monster that's like tea is just off-putting.
Loan Syndicate said, "Now that's a badass mug."
Badass mug. So we have added 2 additions to the mug collection, which I'm sure my cupboard is going to just fall apart because it's like 30 pounds, or not 30 pounds. I think it's like, 15 pounds of cup in that damn cupboard. Anyways, and it's hanging off a wall, so we'll see how that turns out. Stitch says, you don't think you're beating yourself up for not enjoying something you're supposed to. Enjoyment and happiness is an individual. Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a little bit. I was listening to Chris. Chris says that mug is sick, right, man? I thought it was hella cool. I thought it was totally worth. That was like, that to me is a good souvenir. It doesn't exactly scream Portugal, but you know, it's. Also, I was wondering why we weren't like really bright. I guess because I filmed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. I filmed a bunch of stuff with that camera, so that's why it looks all weird. Okay, back to the thing. So, also, I can't not get tourists all up in here, because we went to Portugal in the very particular time where there was just so many people. bad time, all that stuff. Again, Portugal and its beaches, man. The images don't do it justice, which is a shame, but they're gorgeous. Super beautiful. The water is blue. It's not see-through though, but it's kind of see-through, so you get a little bit of that. Very cool. Don't worry about these people. I don't know. Yeah. Streets were cool. I saw it was cool scenery. I don't get out much, so I thought it was neat. This was hilarious, dude. A lot of people have this thing with like vacationing, which is like, I want to go to like the rural country and like get a good restaurant in the middle of nowhere. And then there's this, which is just like, hey, this whole city has become like a tourist capital. Let's just put a bunch of flat screens and like diners and like kiosks everywhere and have tourists have a good time. This was great. I'm sorry, people want this like rural thing. You go to we did this for like 8 days. Well, like you go to like a back alley. You go into a thing. There's some like tiny woman making food. The fucking location that you're in is not AC'd, and it's hot. It's like heat stroke temperatures, and the food is okay. It's like it's just pretentious. What it kind of came down to being. It's a little bit pretentious. But anyway, this place is great. A lot of people here happy. I was worried I was gonna get pickpocketed because there's so many fucking things here. People, I just get worried when that stuff like that's happening. Anyways, this was probably the highlight of my whole time, which it was just awesome. Portugal at night, it's really weird, but like in any of these countries, I think that are like chronically extremely hot, you will see nobody at like lunchtime. You will see nobody anywhere from like 1 to 6 or 5. You will see nobody because it's heat stroke death hot out there. Everyone comes out at night, and it becomes like it weirdly feels safer in a weird way. Because anyone who's out and about like that high or that in the middle of the day when it's that hot is probably like a homeless man who's going to stab you. Whereas at nighttime, there's so many people, you're probably fine. Anyways, what do you call it? Yeah, this was just a nice fair. I don't know, something about the vibe of a fair at night is just a special kind, and like food everywhere that's going to probably give you cancer and kill you, but delicious. It's just an extraordinarily cool vibe, and it was very fun to see. And yes, this was a cool panoramic view I got. Kind of trippy and gross, but yeah, very neat. And this was the one shot. Be nice. This is my mom. Of me and my mom is always a person that doesn't like to take photos because she's like, my eyes are closed or my smile isn't nice, and I kind of snuck up on this one, and I got like a really sincere smile from my mom and myself. And yes, my mom is also 50, by the way, which she is doing incredibly well. But yes, this is a wholesome picture, I thought, really nice. And this was just another image of all the other shit that was on there. By the way, I had a churro for the first time in my life. Fucking amazing, actually. I'm not sure what culture that comes from. Amazing. Very tasty. Fantastic. And probably going to give you like slowly arteries within your body, but I digress. Also, Stitch says, I am intrigued, and I shall continue watching later. Good night, Grin. Thank you so much for stopping by, Stitch. I'm happy to be back, buddy. Hope I can see more of you. Don't you have a helmet? Like I did. I made a helmet similar to the mug for sure. It's a Crusader helm type of vibe. Oh, I don't know if that at the castle. I don't know. Anyways, point is that was that done. Very cool. 38% happiness. This probably should have been higher on the list. I think it's just because, looking back on this with my
Lone
fonder
Syndicate
memory.
said, can I just say grin? And I mean this in the least weirdest way possible. Your mom looks good for her age.
Yes. No, I get that. That's what a lot of my brother is posting stuff on Facebook when he was taking pictures. He's getting really cameras, taking a lot of pictures. That was the one thing that everyone said was that my dad looks attractive and my mom looks also really attractive, but also very young. My dad always gives my mom shit though, because my mom is like, she's entirely open to dyeing her hair, to like fending off some of the things of age. My dad has just let it smash him through the chest, basically. Gray hairs everywhere, etc. My dad always makes the joke of my mom that like, you make me look like a cradle robber, basically like a person who like dated really young. Yeah. But my mom is like really close to his age. It's just she has that weird Native American, also takes good care of herself type of gene. And this was just a mall that I thought was dope as hell. We went to a mega mall in Portugal, which turned out to be kind of like a big-ish mall. Nothing absurd, but kind of big. And it was just neat. It was just a nice little mall. This was beautiful to me. As a person who doesn't get out much, when you get hit with this, you're like, God exists. Not the weird like ocean skyline. This shit dazzling. The light streaming in, glinting off of the flow of this, all that, great. Maybe it's not a great idea to take a picture when basically it's a playground. That could get you in trouble probably. Anyways, here's my dumb face because I was like, look at how beautiful this tree in green is. I'm not sure if it really shines out, but yes. Also, I was wearing a hat for most of the day. Also, it is so hot, I'm soaked in sweat and stained
Lone
forever.
Syndicate said, that's a beautiful shot.
Thank you, Lone. I also thought it was quite nice. And then begins one of the core events that we had. By the way, my family is sick. Every fucking minute of the day, we were doing shit. There was not a single break. It was go to the beach, go to this thing, go see family, go to this thing that my grandpa wants to show us, which is actually awesome. Go to this, go to the water park. It's like we're trying to get into as much vacationing activity as possible, which turns out is a really good way to make it so that you don't have the best time vacation-wise, you know? Also, Buff says, updated the thumbnail for the first week worth of streams as endearing as the placeholder could be. I'd like to make sure even the first week is visible, appealing, the informative. What do you mean? Was that referring to, Fla? What is that referring to? Is that for your channel, or for my thumbnails, or your thumbnails? I'm sure you'll tell me. But anyways, we embarked on a very fun pirate boat-ish ride. It's just a boat that was like remade to be piratey, I believe. But yes, don't worry about these people. I've never seen them in my life. Anyways, it's my brother. Anyways, but yes, this it was nice. This was cool. A big ass ship. What was amazing though is when you get up topside, there's like a whole port. There's my dumbass. Where's the port? I didn't get a picture of the top port. It sucks. Anyways, this was great. This was like a cool little cave expedition thing. My whole family is chronically online, so we're all having our phones out, not living in the moment, which I'm very happy with. I think it's a stupid thing to say. Just because I do this does not mean I'm just incapacitated from enjoying things around me. Anyways, yeah, we went on a cool walk.
said, my first week's worth of stream thumbnails were just a placeholder before I had your help.
That's what you mean.
So now they clearly have the games and logos for them.
Yeah. So now there's a uniformity to it. Yeah. It's gonna look really nice. But yeah, we went on this nice pier walk. It was cool. A bunch of boats. Another cool image. Accidentally took it. This is when my grandpa was trying to show us where all his land is. Which, by the way, dude, that way Portugal works is insane. You don't have like any sort of like accounting really. You have like this giant fucking rock that you like put on something, and that's my land all the way till there, and you have like this JM on it. And then it goes all the way down like a thing, and it's and sometimes my grandpa talks about like, yeah, some asshole neighbors sometimes will knock over the rock accidentally and like put it back up and then move it like 2 meters forward, and it's just like a really like fucking weird ass, kind of like old weird thing. There's my grandpa with his walking stick, showing us all the stuff. This is a bark tree. So you guys want to know how bark is made? Apparently they let this shit grow out and they just chop it off. Apparently it can be sold for a lot. My grandpa was pissed because apparently he got kind of scammed, or maybe they're like, this is terrible bark, we can't use it. We'll take it anyway for like a quarter of the price. And my grandpa is just like kind of living in retirement, so he's like, sure. I'm like, all right. But yes. Also, if this doesn't come across as this is a hot as F like desert area, this is morning. This is like cool. It's not like this ever. It's so hot. Anyways, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I kind of had my epiphany. Now, this is where I kind of had my epiphany of like, oh, I'm a human man, yes, or person. This was the highlight of my trip for me. This one, like, it was an hour. Super not a long time. Basically, we just went to this thing called Sandland, where we're not even going to go to it. We were just waiting to kill time. We seen this thing on the side of the road. It said, hey, there's Sandland 2 hours down the road, or an hour down the road. So we went there, and it was awesome. It was like you get to see all of these like people making like either satire of pop culture or like these cool things from like mythoses, like Indian gods and so on and so forth. Or like, just memes and stuff like that, which I think is a meme. Maybe this is a true test piece for the guy, the Pope, but yes, regardless, This to me was awesome. Like I took so many pictures. I didn't even show you guys how the pictures I took. I took a picture for basically every sand thing, and it was just really fun. And I think the core of this was I was able to kind of like see other people's creation, you know, which was really nice. It was like this, I guess a cornerstone of something that I find deeply meaningful, and then I get like an insane amount of enjoyment from. Which is like an easy way to say it is like I like watching YouTube videos, and I like seeing art. I like watching manga, I reading manga, these things. But I think that if I'm more honest about like what this applies to, I think I like seeing what other people create. I think that makes like it's infinitely interesting. You know, even with there's some exceptions, maybe like art, like seeing like abstract art. I could even see that being kind of fun. At least a lot funner than just like going down a water slide 10 times, which we'll talk more about eventually. Oh, actually, that's the one thing I couldn't show you guys. Yeah, that was the things that happened beforehand. I couldn't take any pictures of the water slide, but we did like 3 of these massive, dude. Portugal is filled with like these huge water parks, like fucking huge. And it was fun, but it also felt like something that, and this is a part of what maybe I had like a little bit of an issue with the trip is, and I want to ask you guys this: how many of you guys are kind of become a different person in the presence of family? Not a bad person, not like a worse off necessarily person, but just a different kind of like groove that you set in. Like the person that you are with your friends versus the person you are with like an employer versus the person that you are with your family, to me is kind of different. There's no greater contrast than it is with my family though, because for me, I kind of become like what I've always kind of naturally been, which is like kind of like a wallflower type person, like very quiet, reserved, try to not be like, honestly, if I were to like kind of condense who I am when I'm around my families, I try not to be bothersome. I try not to be like get in anybody's way. I try to be as like unoffensive as possible. As accommodating, hopefully, as possible. Which also means like I'm very quiet. I try to get out of the way, and I try to like not be there. Almost like I try to dissolve into the background. And yeah, I think that also has a part of why some of these things didn't really resonate in a big way. Like the water park thing, there was a lot of moments where I did have quite a bit of fun with my brother running around with him, etc. But like there was also a lot of parts where I just felt like no one's excited to do the things I'm necessarily excited to do, and even if they are, I don't really find I'm like excited to do them, if that makes any sense. But anyways, I'm not sure if that relates to anybody else, but yeah, that's kind of a part of why maybe I didn't have the greatest time, is because I kind of do default back into this weird version of myself when I'm with my family. Despite me loving the hell out of my family and thinking they're all brilliant, it's just a weird thing of me. Anywho, here's some of the cool things. Here's also a close-up of his face, which was actually quite good and also quite bad at the same time, depending on the accenting features. But yes, this was also the creepiest ass, like Willy Wonka looking ass thing that was horrifying. Cool Norse like statues. Again, you can't really do justice because the stream has like decompression essentially, but they look really high detailed. There's a cool squid. This is really cool. It's cool. Like I think this is a god of an Indian god, maybe. Very neat. There's a cool ass dragon. Some of them also, a lot of us were like, this is concrete, right? Like this can't be sand. There's got to be some sort of like sand concrete mix, because there's no way these things are not degrading. Because there's definitely some asshole kid who runs up to them and like tugs on an arm, because we had no supervision when we were out there. Cool Mayan god / whatever. And yes, this was where you start realizing that Portugal has no chill. And yep, that's, I believe, the Mona Lisa with a bathing suit with a hard ass nipple. Anywho, we have some cool werewolves and Dracula and this whole thing. Just a cool vibe. Just a really good time. This one was awesome to me. I also thought that most of us, family-wise, enjoy it. So I think most of my family are similar to me in that sense. They're like, yeah, it's like seeing artists in a weird way is nice. Or this could just be one of the few uniformly badass things across the board. Who knows? What was next? Okay, this was one of the last things we did because I gassed out and I started just surviving. I'll talk more about it at the very end, and then we'll move on to something fun. I'm sorry I'm talking so much about my vacation. I know most people just... This was 3 weeks of why I was not here. So I kind of want to give some attention to it and not just really rush to things that are more fun, like Borderlands and Wrecked and stuff like that. But I digress. Also, Bolty says, hope you and your family could recover a bit from your vacation. I'll talk more about that at the very end, Bolty, if you wouldn't mind. I kind of wanted to vent to you a little bit about my weird mental space about this whole thing. Your family seems like lovely people. Wish you all the... Yeah, I mean, I love my family to death. I think they got a lot out of it. I think they did. This is where before I get into all that, let's start with this. So this was the last big thing that we did. Not really. We did a lot of stuff. A lot of like the last week was like hanging out with my grandparents, making sure we really get the time with them, and it was great. My grandma is so good at making food. It's crazy. Also, I ate, just a side thing, I ate so much food. I usually have like a yogurt and protein in the morning, and then I skip lunch, and then I just have supper. And it's usually like a medium to big supper, and then I'm good. In Portugal, I had breakfast, like a full-ass breakfast, like yogurt, oats, like bread, and then we had a lunch that was usually pretty hefty, and then we had like another supper, and that supper usually had like desserts and shit associated with it. And guess what? I lost weight. I don't think I have a parasite. I think it's because the amount of walking we did and the amount of heat, I think it's the heat, dude. I think heat just wrecks you. Like, you don't realize, but like your body having to constantly try to cool itself down is burning off so much calories. I guess like basically we're in a sauna for like 3 weeks. So yes, we did not gain. I did not gain a lot of weight, even though I absolutely should have. I was even like overeating. I was like eating food off my mom's plate because she didn't want to finish everything.
Lone Syndicate said, Side note, in War got Froliver
Nice.
and her weapon. And GRINN Froliver might be the most character for you in War. Like, she kinda reminds me of V from DMC.
I did see the videos. I kind of was hoping to not fall in love, but yeah, we'll see. Because I just don't like her as a personality type in the game. Her character seems yucky, especially with these other characters coming down the pipeline. Like, as much as it's kind of weird. Do we pick a character that has like gameplay that I've been asking for a while, or a character that looks visually stunning? Now, we've done that for the last 2. And I kind of kicking myself with Withering Waves because I end up getting characters. I find out I enjoy the triple threat of like, I like the look of them and I have all the characters that make them good. Not I like the look of them and I miss the one character that makes them good. Which is the elf lady, I think. Would really help one of the teams I got to make them substantial. So I actually might wait until she has a rerun eventually and get her. Anyways, but this is the last thing that we did. We went to this place that was absolutely the best as far as this stuff's concerned, called Zoo Marina. So it was a zoo and like a marina, and also like what is it called? Like they had like rides and swim parks and stuff like that. So it's basically just an epicenter of like, throw your kids and family here for a week and you'll have a great time. And it was true, you do. So yeah, we seen like stingrays, who's cool X things like that. Rip the guy from Australia, Steve Hardy.
Lone Syndicate said, "I love Froliva.
She's great.
And her backstory, it was very touching.
Oh.
Plus, you got her best teammate, Jellyfish Lady."
Oh, yeah, it's true. I do. We'll see. I haven't played with her yet, so we'll jump in eventually and try her. Maybe in this stream. Maybe I'll say that tomorrow. We got a lot to do this stream. We got a lot to catch on. Cool birds. It was cute. There was this I should have got a full picture of this, but there was like a whole ass enclosed space with just thousands of butterflies. Actually hilarious seeing my mom and aunties who like adore the shit out of like butterflies, but when they're swooping around you, you're like, fuck, shit, oh jeez, oh jeez. So that was fun, and this is the cool thing that my brothers do, where they swam with dolphins, despite them probably wanting to kill themselves. I don't know. Anyways, we watched one of these again. This was the funny thing though. All of these like little things that we watched in this place, which was like watching like a dolphin do something cool, or watching like a sea lion or whatever it's called. We club them in Canada in a certain location. What is it called? Sea lion? No. Seal. It's a seal. Seal. We're watching like a seal do a bunch of cool shit. This is great, but the way they make it like not so horrible for the animals is that they're like, we're doing this to shine light on the waste in the ocean, and the fact that you should use not use plastics, and also not use straws, and despite straws make up like an eighth of the amount of death happening in the ocean, it's mostly massive corporations that are causing 90% of the. Anyways, that was their angle, and more power to them. This debate to me about like animals and zoos, some of these animals are just gonna die outside. You know what I mean? So it's like a moral thing. It's like PETA. It's like PETA basically. PETA's like, hey, those animals deserve to die in the wild, and then there are other people who are like, those animals don't deserve to be captive. And the reality is, if we could just talk to these animals and find out the ones that are like, yeah, I don't want to go outside and get fucking like captured and eaten and beaten to death and starve. And then there's other people who are like, I want freedom. Let me live my life. And yeah, I'm sure that's true. Or not get hit with a cow problem, however these things get trained. Anyways, and this was just a nice thing. It's just an old ass road. Dude, every like location in Portugal is such a weird vibe because it is like super beautiful, like long roaming mountains in this background. You can see everything is beautiful. The roads are kind of always a little scuffed. But then the houses, dude, are made by like a person who thought like the apocalypse was going to happen. Because they're just huge. There's no fucking basement, so I guess not the apocalypse or something. There's really dense structure, basically. This little excerpt was me whiling. So let me talk about that. That's what Bolty was kind of asking about. We'll throw this on in the background. Yeah. Okay, so Bolty was saying, so here's the thing. I would like to start off this before, and please pause text speech just so I can get this out, just so we can move on to this. All right, let me take a drink of this first. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, when I started this vacation, the one of these things that so we went to Portugal a long time ago when we were kids. We used to go like every like 10 years, 5 years, something like that. We don't ever go on vacations at all, and then we just go on this big vacation because that's where our family is, or my grandparents are. My grandparents always make the journey to us, so we want to do that for them. But because life has gotten so busy ever since COVID happened, business slowed down, all these things that we can't quite do that. No, all of us don't actually want to do that often because it's just that we're homebodies essentially. Anyways, I look back on certain memories from those previous trips that we went on when I was a kid, and I always felt like I didn't do right by that. Like, I always thought I wasted the opportunity. Like, I went to this beautiful location, and I ended up spending a lot of the time, like, in my own head. Sitting on a porch, because it was the only place that was cold enough to survive in Portugal. And like, just thinking about, like, a story that I was making up in my head, and how these characters would interact with this, and yada yada yada. And I always regretted that because I thought, man, I'm not like making the most of this. I'm not enjoying the food to the utmost. I'm not trying to like talk to people the best. All these things. And then I thought, okay, well, this time, because this is like one of the last times we'll probably go on this vacation. Not last time, but like it'll probably be a long time until we go on a vacation like this again. I'm gonna try to really be present and like take it all in and have as much fun as I possibly can. Within like 3 days, I did that. Within the whole time I tried to do that. But I very quickly came to find out that I'm like, and again, I would like to state this like clear as day. I adore my family to death. I love spending time with them. It's like, they're like some of my favorite people. They're so fucking brilliant, all of them. They work absurdly hard. They don't ask for like praise. They're all unique and incredible in a lot of ways. They've all done so many things, so much things with their life that it makes them brilliant. So it's not them, but man, this whole vacation like got me a little worried because I was convinced that I was like, something's wrong with me because like I was miserable, man. And I tried to not show it, even though I knew my parents at the very least knew how bad it was. Like it was bad. It's such a weird feeling to be in like paradise and be fucking agonizingly miserable, and to like try to cling to like this, just fake it till you make it, and then nothing. And usually fake it till you make it, you get some inkling of something. And I tried to like rack my brain of what it was. Was it that like I messed up my brain somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, where like I conditioned myself to only allow myself to enjoy something after I suffered enough? Because like nothing ever came easy to me when it comes to editing YouTube videos or like performing, or any of those things. It's always like a lot of the things that I end up enjoying the most are things I had to suffer for to some extent. Exercise is kind of that in a nutshell. So I thought maybe that was a part of why I like messed up my brain somewhere along the line. If I did that for like 10 years straight, where like you only reward yourself whenever you've sufficiently suffered or given enough of yourself to something else, does this create a feedback loop of when you're just like, hey, devour this whole buffet, and then you eat like 7 things, and you're like, I didn't even enjoy the first 2 bites of the first thing I ate, because I didn't feel like I deserved this. I didn't feel like I earned it. I didn't feel like it meant anything. And eventually I kind of came out of this in a weird way of like, it's weird, but like the worst version of this, which is what I was kind of thinking at the beginning, which was like, I am broken. I've maybe broken my own brain into place. This is going to be really awkward and uncomfortable if I ever want to like a significant other in my life, like a partner in life. How am I going to tell them that like I can't enjoy things unless I go through enough like pain and suffering to then be able to enjoy them, especially if it's like something like an amusement park or something like that. And then I found out that wasn't even quite right. Like, that's not exactly what the problem is. And it comes back to this thing that I always wish people would like understand a lot, which is just because something makes you happy doesn't mean it's going to make me happy. That's kind of what it came down to. I had all these assumptions of what made people happy. And it turns out a lot of the assumptions for me just weren't it. I will be honest, I was not, I'm a little bit surprised, if not shocked, that it's such a difference. What I mean by that is, I'll tell you guys what I wrote basically on the Discord if you guys happen to miss it, which I totally think is fine because it's a lot of text. But the TLDR is my positive takeaway for all this, which is a lot of people basically struggle to find out something that like makes their life meaningful. Something that's like a true deep-seated joy. And for some of us, that's video games. Some people like deeply love video games. I would say video games probably don't fall into the category unless it's really like fucking amazing for you. Maybe at one point it was. But anyways, to me, if you're able to find like these 2 or 3 things that are just like absolutely, oh my god, if you told me I had to do just this for the rest of my life, I could actually probably be okay. I wouldn't put a bullet in my head. I'd actually endear that and enjoy it. A lot of people struggle to find that one thing in their life. I've been lucky enough to find 3 of those said things. And the way I defined them was trying to be as clear and as broad as possible. One of them is observing what people will create. I love this. I love seeing, like, imagine, like, oh, your whole life is just that. You get to go around observing all the art and videos and monuments and all these things that people create. You're probably like, yeah, that didn't sound bad at all. That sounds great. Whereas someone said all you could do is play video games for the rest of your life. You're like, okay. I feel like it could get all, not the worst net zero, but it's a little too narrow. Where like, can movies also be in there? Yeah, okay, then maybe I can like have a different. When I get bored of games, I can go to movies. When I get bored of movies, I can go to anime. You can manage. And then the other thing was doing something that's like cost something. I always say this word, but like meaningful. And to me, meaning is attributed to like, you didn't just get it. You had to work for the thing that you then got. The other thing with that, though, the catch is that you have to then like enjoy the thing that you got. You know, like I can't like the thing. My dad started saying this of like, oh, well, okay, I was explaining some of this to him, and he was like, oh, if that's the thing of like you just need to quote unquote suffer, then why don't you just like do this said thing that's difficult and then just enjoy like the amusement park before you leave. And it's tough because it doesn't work that way. Like, at least not to me. It doesn't work like if I told you, if you had no interest in like running a marathon and like the feeling of like breaking through the marathon, you finish the race, huzzah moment. If I said, oh, do that, and you work your ass off through that marathon, and then you go through the thing, you're like, yeah, I never really cared about like winning this. Like, this didn't matter to me. So you need to find something that matters to you and then suffer in the pursuit to get it. That's the more complete picture, I think. And that to me describes me exactly, which is funny because like that's the one thing that like I mentioned. That was the one takeaway that I'll end on. The one thing I wanted to kind of get from this trip is in some ways recovery, to see if like maybe I have been burnt out for a long time and what does it feel like to fully recover, So I didn't know this whole mod was a furry mod. That's insane. That's crazy. I don't know. I didn't think it replaced everybody. That's wild. But yes, the one thing I was hoping to get to see if like, oh, could I recover? And the other thing was like, oh, well, maybe they're like these things in my life that I haven't been pursuing. Like, when I was in high school, I never went to parties really. I never like made a massive point to like go out and do things that I think other people were doing my age. And looking back on it, I'm like, oh, because I didn't get any enjoyment out of them, or like a lot of them, I didn't get like the most amount of meaning or fulfillment out of. The things that I did get a lot of meaning and enjoyment out of was pursuit, essentially. The pursuit of something that I deemed I wanted, not that other people deemed I wanted or would be good for me or something like that. So yeah, like the one thing that I ended up getting is I never got what I wanted from this trip, but I got what I needed in a lot of ways. And what I think I needed was like, it kind of showed me that, oh, well, first and foremost, I'm not completely and utterly broken, which is cool. It's okay that I like things that other people may not enjoy, etc. And I'm sure there are people who also enjoy those said things. But the thing that really, to me, stuck with me was that it's funny because sometimes I worry about this thing, and I'm not sure if you guys have this way with family, but like my grandparents, I love them to pieces. They're brilliant. They're the best. But I sometimes think that they look at my situation in the way that I've chosen to like make choices and trade-offs in my life, and I don't think it's what they would prefer. I think a lot of times they're like, oh, you don't have a wife yet, or you don't have a significant other yet, or we want you to have this sustainability or stableness within your life. And I really attribute a lot of these things, man, like of luck, like for whatever reason, luck or like a guardian angel that's watching over me, that I happen to usually get like the right information at the right time that like gives me like a key to the problem I am having at the current moment. And that was one of the problems I was having for like the last couple months. And it's funny because that guy who I'm looking into, who I'm learning from a lot about entrepreneurial stuff, called Alex Hormozi, he has this thing that I think is really clever. And he basically, and this is really great if anyone's in like content creation or dealing with anyone who's dealing with that, a family member who doesn't understand necessarily all the things that you're going through, all these variables, or has a judgment upon you, whatever it is. And this whole saying is that every single negative thing that's ever said on the internet can be attributed to this one simple phrase: you live your life in a way I would not prefer. That's it. That's the entire praise. You live your life in a way I would not prefer. So, if you say it like that, it immediately makes all the sense in the world and takes away all the bite out of it. Because it's like, oh, well, that's how you feel. That makes sense. And if I had to live the life that you had, I probably wouldn't be happy either. So it's like a freeing statement of like, oh, this is okay. Like, it's entirely okay that you may not enjoy the choices I make, because if I had to make all the choices you made, I might be miserable too. Or like I might be worse miserable. So it helps with that kind of sense of this like weird feeling of like, am I doing the right thing or wrong thing? It's like, well, no, it all comes down to the choices that you make. But yes, also forgive me if I'm a little bit like all over the place. I'm like running really low on sleep, so I'm trying to like consolidate my thoughts, and I did a much better job about that text. But yeah, as much as this trip to me, man, in a lot of ways was like, if I could just be honest for like, it was pretty agonizing. And I love spending time with my family. That was like the highlight. Spending time with my grandparents, like laughing with my brothers. Those were all great. But man, it was, by every stretch of the imagination, not a vacation. It was not a time where I felt recovered. That's what Bolty asked. He said, I hope you and your family, my family, I think definitely did get a lot out of the vacation. I think they got like a lot of recovery. They are not like me in that sense. I don't think they're like me who has been in a circumstance in which they've kind of like molded their brain to work in this way of like needing these variables to be happy and all that stuff. So they had a great time. I think. I was super taxed the entire time. Like I felt more tired than I ever felt. I felt more blasé, every negative thing. Like I felt depressed in a lot of cases as well. I don't mean to be too doom and gloom, but like it was hard. But I've come out of that with like a very, very crystal clear understanding of what I think I deeply want in my life and what I need, and also what like I would expect other people to like need to know about me. You know what I mean? Like if you are, like, again, I talked about this one-off comment because I always like to go there because again, at one point in my life I'd hope to have a companion. So like this understanding of knowing this about yourself and then be able to explain this to a partner and be like, hey, these are the things I kind of have about me. It's helpful to know these variables about yourself. And it, like, to me, if I'm in the boldest possible way, I'm gonna be the kind of person that just never wants to take a vacation ever, never wants to stop working ever. It's not that I don't like enjoying things, by the way. Like I enjoy taking like R&R, not R&R, but like doing other stuff, like watching YouTube videos is awesome. I consider that to be very not working, but like watching YouTube video, watching some anime, sorry, reading a manga. These are all things that I enjoy. These are like points of enjoyment, but they're not like the traditional things that I think a lot of people get enjoyment out of. Or not, so they are, sorry. They absolutely are. But just not like, I think a lot of people build up this idea of like, let's go to the beach, let's go to a water park, let's take a vacation. And to me, I'm like, I only need like an hour watching a handful of YouTube videos to feel like I'm ready to rip. I'm ready to get back into it. I'm ready. All I need to do is read like one story to feel like, okay, I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more, like something that isn't just pure bliss or pure joy. And I think, and maybe that's the power in a lot of ways. If you can find something that is truly like fucking cloud 9 happiness for you, like it breaches the 100% happy. It goes to fucking 500% happy. Then why would you not immediately be okay with doing something that makes you fucking miserable, like minus 40% happy, if you know that you can easily get all that back and then some by doing one of the other things that are deeply meaningful in your life that bring you joy. So in a lot of ways, I'm broken in a good way. Basically, I don't know. That to me is a way that I think most people live. At least when I talk to people, they have a lot more balanced, varied, I should say, things that bring them joy. You know, like very clear things that bring them joy. But for me, I was surprised myself, at least, how like deep the difference was. Of like, this thing feels like kind of okay, and this other thing feels like I'm on cloud 9. This is amazing, you know. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. As much as the 3 weeks were hell for me, I did have a lot of moments which I enjoyed. All of them were associated with my family, spending time with them, talking to them, stuff like that. But no, I did not need to go on a water park. No, I did not need to go to the beach. And no, I did not need to spend $2,000 of my dollars to go on a plane ride. And yes, but alas, that is it. That was my vacation. That's where I was for 3 whole ass weeks. Thank you for listening to me round about that. We're getting to some more cool things to react to, like some Borderlands trailers. Forgive me for doing that, talking so much about that. It was 3 weeks, so I feel like it's kind of okay to talk a lot about that. But yes, yeah, you guys can use text speech, by the way, if you were holding back. But yeah, it's weird. I still haven't like fully, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but like I feel weirdly like I could cry. Like when I came back, dude, when I came back to Canada, it's weird. It almost feels like, oh, this is my deep,
Lone
my
Syndicate
home.
said, I have a PC question, Grin.
I may not be the guy to ask, but hit me. Definitely a Red and Fluff helped me out a lot. So maybe, hopefully Fluff is still here. Maybe he can hear you out as well. I'll give you a question or an answer. I'll do my best, though. Maybe I got the answer. Let's see. Hit me, Lone. Is it about a graphics card? Yeah, I'm curious what the question could be. If it's a graphics card question, it usually comes down to like, do you go with Radeon or do you go with NVIDIA? And the graphics card, I'd say you just go with a, I don't know, Lone, let me see. Lone did show, I don't know where it was though. Was it in the Discord? But was it in the React tab? No, probably in the share grin, I would assume. Usually where like random shit goes here. Boom. There it is. Well, let's see. We got okay, you got your CPU. I think that's what that is. No, that's what your CPU is. What's this little guy? Got a good ass case. I imagine that's your RAM. What is this little guy? Hard drive, maybe? Probably hard drive. I don't know what this guy is. Is it your fan? What is that? It's a Radeon or something, but what? Oh, maybe it's your motherboard. That's probably, yeah, it's your motherboard probably. And then what is this? Is it your power? Okay, that's probably power, motherboard, card. Yeah, it's the GPU probably question. Is that what the question is? It might be a GPU question. If it's a GPU question, I feel like it has to be like, what GPU do I use? Or like graphics card. And it's tough. I think the best solution right now is go with an NVIDIA one that's older. Yeah. Like a 7. To me, I think the best bang for your buck is the, what is it? It's the same series as mine, but it's the better one. I think I have the 40 series. Yeah, I think it's the 40 series, but go with the 70
Syndicate
Ti.
said, when I buy a key for Windows, right, where do I go to put the key in? Also, any good place where I can buy a key for Windows?
Yes, do not buy a fucking key from Windows full price. It is terrible. You can go to, it's maybe a little morally weird, but I'd say fuck it, we ball. This is one of those times where it's weird. I already bought the which graphics card did you buy? Anyways, don't go to Windows, because Windows will like charge you, I think it's like $200 or some shit for $300 for their Windows thing. It sounds a little scummy, but just go to one of these like key reseller sites and buy Windows. This is where Fluff and Red would probably say, don't buy Windows 11 Pro. Buy the second one that has basically not been buggy. I would just kind of say buy the newest one, but that's me. Any key reseller site is good. And then all you do, Lone, is you basically, it's a part of the boot process. So when you get your PC made, you have, if I'm not mistaken, you download your like BIOS or whatever boot onto a little stick. And then basically when you're plugging it in to boot up your thing for the first time, it will take the files for Windows, which is usually just Windows for free. So you can like run the startup on Windows for free, and it will basically say when you're already installed like the free version of Windows, a thing will pop up in the middle and say, hey, activate Windows with your key here. And that's where you put your like Windows key unlock. But it's a part of how you actually like boot up your whole PC. So you have like you download your Windows files onto a hard drive stick, usually like a USB, and then you also download it, the boot up process of it. I forget what it is. Maybe it is just Windows. Yeah, maybe it's just Windows. I thought there was another thing inside of that, but it may just be Windows. And then you just run it. Oh, you did buy an RTX. Okay. An RTX 4060. Oh, 4060 is solid. Oh, man. There was TI and stuff like that. Also, one of the things that people like, you probably won't feel this, but like for me,
Lone Syndicate said I brought the RTX
like,
4060.
Yeah, the RTX 4060. I was going to say, the one thing I regret with my graphics card is doing VR. You need a lot of, like, I think it's RAM built into your actual graphics card that goes, like, a long way with VR. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that. But it massively helps with VR games. I think it takes away all, like, the lag spikes completely. I also think it happens. I think it's, like, a stabilization thing as well. So if you want, like, a really stable frame rate, I think it helps a lot. I was going to go GT. GT says 2.6 is August. Don't forget. Yeah, I seen that. I watched Fluff. Fluff sent me his stream reaction thing, which I appreciate, Fluff, by the way. I did check out it, but I checked it out way after the fact. But yeah, it was a whole thing where I seen that we have basically the summoner girl with the rose and the multiple hands, and then we have 2 reruns. Or maybe 1 rerun. I think it's just 2 banners, but it's reruns. And then we have I think it's the Ocean Girl and then the Gladiator Girl, and then I think GameSpot or something like that got a early
Lone
access.
Syndicate said also want to see what monitor I got. Grin, I can send it.
Hell yeah, send it. I would love to see it. RTX 460. Yeah, is RTX not Radeon, right? RTX I think is Nvidia still. Yeah, Nvidia. I always just call it the 460. Yeah, but that should be good. Yeah, but yeah. I think I am 1 graphics card above me, Lone, and I can run damn near anything. So you should be fine. And also, you can always upgrade eventually. Yeah, honestly, dude, it's probably best to get like an okay graphics card right now, like a good one, because we're in like a weird purgatory where like everyone is collectively hoping that Radeon or Ryzen or AMD makes like a really good graphics card that's like just good and not giga expensive, but I still think it's kind of a pipe dream. But I would totally take a graphics card that wasn't $2,000 to $3,000 by itself and didn't have a bunch of AI features. That'd be fine, you know. And I just don't think that's likely because I think NVIDIA has such a lead and AI is still the talk of the town. So I don't know if it's as likely as we'd hope. I have a reliable site to get very inexpensive OS key. Yes. So, I got mine for like $9, but it's probably better if you just go with one that's like $20 or something like that. Again, if it's, yeah. I'd recommend Windows 10 Pro, but you can go with Windows 11. Yeah, Windows. The reason why Fluff and Red have that opinion, I believe, Lone, which is kind of interesting to think about, is Windows 10 Pro is finished. Like it's not gonna change shit. It's usually like it's gonna run really well. It's gonna have the same interface. But the issue is that some like software features or something like that can be locked behind Windows 11. It shouldn't happen yet, and a lot of softwares are mindful of that. But I do think it's some variable. Yeah. Also, yeah, Lone probably is trying to find the site just so he knows it's not a scam. Because yeah, I had the same fear. I had to just bite the bullet, and then Red asked me eventually and said, "Hey, do you have like that site?" And I just gave him the one I used. I could actually probably find that message if you really want that one, but I'm sure Fluff has a much more reliable. Like, I'm sure you'd pay like a little bit more because I do think the price that I got was like stupid. Like it was like $9. I'm like, this is still. I'm still waiting for that day to come up. I mean, hey, I've been using this for like 2 years. No, a year, maybe a year. A year for $9. It's like it's a membership fee. Okay. Anyway, this is the monitor.
Said sent.
This is the monitor. All right. Skeptor. Oh, it's the curved monitor. Oh, you're not going to immediately become the dual monitor gang? Oh, Lone, I promise you, once you go back, or once you go forward, you won't go back. Something like that. I forget what the saying is. I'm tired. But yes, let's see. What's the refresh rate? Oh, 2K monitor. Not bad. What's the refresh rate, Lone? Does it say? Ooh, 200 max frame rate, ultra wide, 3C is good. That's a pretty big monitor too. As time goes on, man, I feel like I am going to become the person that believes in like a curved monitor set up like this, so like long ways, and then a big TV to the side. It sounds weird, but that to me is, I think, like the dream setup to me, because I've had the two monitors. I've had like, I had a 32-inch curved monitor here. This one I do believe is much longer though. It's ultra wide. Mine was just wide, so you have like technically more width. What is HDR 400 red? Is that just colors, like really good greens and stuff like that? I've seen this brown before, so I think it's not terrible. Yeah, this looks great. I'm jealous. How much was this piece? Because I feel like that's got to be at least 2K. Is not, at least it's not 4K, so it's not going to be absurd. But it's the ultra wide that I think is going to get expensive, and that's the refresh rate. I would say it's probably like a 380. Nah, maybe $400.
Lone Syndicate said got this monitor for only $168.
That's insane. That's crazy. That's diabolical. Okay. Jesus. Am I missing something? That sounds like a really good deal. Yeah, you've got AMD FreeSync. Which I guess because you have I'm not sure if you'll be able to utilize the when I was looking at the monitors, it was weird. It was like there's like AMD has a sync thing and then Nvidia has a sync thing, but they oftentimes can work together, but they can kind of it's basically your graphics card communicating with your monitor, to the refresh rate. But usually they're fine. But sometimes if you have screen tearing and you don't know what the hell the problem is, it's probably that, but it's probably not that. But that's amazing. That's an insane deal. Do you have a guy that works at Xbox, or a friend that works at Best Buy? I'll say, ooh, that's cute. It doesn't look real. That looks like fake. Weird. Very odd. I, for one, do not want to go down the rabbit hole of anime figurines, because I don't think I'll be able to come back. Although I don't like junk, typically. But I say that, and I'm not sure. Oh, my nose. Fluff, did you see the Giga Cool mug? The only souvenir that I got? Check this out. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? It's got like a spined handle. Solid good souvenir. I got it from the castle that we went and see, which turns out Portugal, a lot of castles. It's also steel inside, so I probably can't put it in the microwave, but hey. Oh, we got a bot over it. Gosh darn, it's always Twitch. Now that I say that, they're going to go to YouTube and be like, see? We're equal opportunity spam. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, now brings us to a part of the stream, which is actually content, and not me rambling about existential crises that I have discovered about myself, but ultimately led to me being more happy and just so fucking happy to be back. I'm so happy that I know I enjoy this process of giving a little bit of yourself to what you... To moving forward, to the things you find meaningful.
McFlufferkin said for upcoming Z stuff, Shimatsu, the first of the 3 Angels of Delusion, has been spotted in-game. There's also data mentioning Lucia, Big Hammer none. Minato seems to be coming for 2.2 A rank.
Ooh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, interesting. I'm not. Oh, my stream is dying. We're buffering, gang. We're buffering. Let's hold the line before we start. I want to watch these damned trailers with you. We're dropping frames by the 2000s. Why, some would say, has your stream completely decided to brick itself? I don't know. I do not know why. It has decided to cripple itself. I don't know. Come on, baby, what's happening? Is somebody downloading? Surely not. No, probably not. We just gotta ride this out. Also, man, I seen Blade, by the way, in like Marvel Rivals. Damn, man. They good about making characters. Phoenix looks fucking awesome to play, and same with Blade. Blade looks like he is genuinely difficult to play, though. I feel like Blade is gonna be. He has so many options to do stuff, but some of those options put you in a weakened state or like a vulnerable state, in which most people will just feed in that state. But he has so many options. Kind of feels like Genji, where like if you really know what you're doing, you can like play him really high level stuff in Overwatch. But more so than that, like he has like multiple things that he could do, which is kind of like the one thing I want Captain America to get a fix with, is I want him to be better at anything besides just like stalling. I want to have like another thing, like every time you get like a 10 punches landed or something like that, you give a buff to your teammates and increase like attack speed or something. I don't know. It could be like a tiny shit, just anything that makes him feel like something, you know? Whereas Blade seems like he has multiple things he could do. He could like dive the backline. He can like melt tanks. He can then like be a tank himself because he has lifesteal. All these things. We're back. We're good. Okay, our internet's back. I wanted to watch some of these trailers because I missed these. I have not watched these, so I wanted to see them with you. All right, so we have the Amon trailer. Nope, sorry, Rafa trailer, which I missed. I did not see. And then we'll watch his ability breakdown video, just because it's 3 minutes. Why not? And then we'll watch the motherfucking
Lord Blazefire 1985 said, "Yo, Grin, good to
Ooh,
see you back.
I missed
I'm
you,
doing
Lord.
good than last month, but in the bright side, I bought a hat.
I'm doing good the last month. I'm doing good last month. But in the bright. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing good these last months. Is that what you meant to say? What do you call it? Yes, you bought a nice hat. What kind of hat is it? Is it like a cap, or is it like an actual like fedora? Fedoras,
Lone
man.
Syndicate said I got most of my parts for good prices, bringing the total cost of my build to $1,002.23.
That's a real good deal. How did you get the prices so low, Lone? If you don't mind me asking, do you have like a? Did you go to like inside the store? Or did you just like hover Newegg and like check for those real good deals? Huh. My nose is starting to get blocked. I'm sick. I always say that's the worst thing I have ever when you're kind of like congested, is when like your nose
Lord
breathing is just like.
Blazefire 1985 said it's a wide brim.
Gotcha. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know why they're like flat caps with like really long fins. To me, I always find like I don't know. Part of it is I think I associate some of those with like burnout friends I had. One sec. It's such a terrible feeling. It's like my nose at like again. It's like when you're talking and then like your windpipe just gets closed, and you're like, I can't speak. Except it's just your nostrils. Anyways, all right, let's check this out, and then we will watch Amon's trailer, which is the one I'm the most excited to see. Actually, no, we'll finish it off by seeing his cosmetic changes, and then we'll see Amon's. Let's watch his. Oh wait, did he give Amon a trailer, like his like character trailer yet? They just gave him his. Weird. Anyways, yeah, we'll do his official overview, and then we'll do his ability breakdown. All right, cool. Did it do it in the right order? I did. Okay, good. All right, let us watch Rafa's trailer, which I know you sons of bitches didn't wait for me. You watched it yourself. Yeah, Lone, that's insane, by the way. I keep looking at Lone's number. If Lone can get a PC that is that good for that amount of money, that is
Lord Blazefire 1985 said, "Oh yeah, I went inside a good hat store. 50% off. I want to go online and buy Undertaker's hat from Levine Hats Online."
Okay, yeah, see, that to
Lone
me
Syndicate
makes sense.
said, "Just cruising. Throw the deeps of Amazon Grin like I got my motherboard for under $100 and got the GPU for $329.
Okay, I worry a little bit about the motherboard being that price. The motherboard is like the soul of the computer. So it's the thing that like if you're ever gonna spend the money on, I think it's one of the ones you should, because it makes it infinitely upgradable, and it's usually not that much money. Like I think yeah. But yeah, it's one of just because when you fully build your PC, the one thing that you shouldn't, at least I wouldn't want to pull out the motherboard and swap it out. Hot swapping a motherboard doesn't exactly exist, Whereas if you get your motherboard set up and you get a really good motherboard, that'd be good to go. But this is your first PC anyway, so I'm not even sure if you'll get a good case. Like the two things I think, if I could tell my younger self who tried to build a PC but then just depended on his brother to do it, and then was kind of taught by Red and Fluff in some capacity about what a PC needs, and the thing that I felt the most is if I go back in time and tell my younger self anything that's going to build a PC, I would say get a comically large case, because it will help you immensely with the cooling, and it'll make it so that it's easier to navigate, it's easier to install. So many good things about getting a case, and it also doesn't cost that much more. And also you can buy one and be done forever, which is nice. And then the second thing would be to don't chintz out on the motherboard specifically, because the motherboard is the thing that you shouldn't need to replace often, and it is super. It's the thing that you're gonna have to plug in like nodes to power it. So like the things that power your graphics card, you're gonna have to find these two plugs. Sometimes these plugs are called like RFAA something, and they're like a weird thing, and how you have to plug. Anyways, yeah, it's just easier for me. I think it's just a better thing with the motherboard. But anyways, that's crazy that you got you've gotten the deals that you have for the price you have, especially with that. Again, I don't think anyone's PC, the first PC that they made, was like expensive and the best. It's meant to be like, and I think yours, based on everything that you've told me alone, is going to be a powerhouse, but not the cream of the crop, which is good, because honestly, I think that pisses off some people, some PC people, where it's like, if you immediately came out with like a god level PC,
that was the price for a new motherboard. It was the Gigabyte B550 which wasn't my first choice in motherboard, but actually is better than the one I was originally gonna get.
Okay, good. So yeah, so as long as you've looked into it, which I imagine you have, then yeah, I was just hoping that you get a good motherboard. But I don't know. I think I paid for mine. Well, everything is weird with Canadian dollars, so maybe it actually ended up being relatively the same thing. But I thought it was like almost $250. I don't know. I should double check that. The prices were all over the place. The one thing that kicked your ass is always the graphics card. But yeah, the CPU also was a little tough, especially with it being shitty. The CPU I bought was like, I think like $200, and it was also part of fucking Intel's cursed CPU line. Anyways, let's see, Rafa, save me from my despair. Ooh, guns with legs.
Valued shareholders of the TDR Corporation, we are proud to debut our newest project, the Live Frame.
Does this mean I don't know, man. I know. I mean, we gotta look over Rafa's skill tree again. I didn't really get the TDR vibe from most of it. I got some of it, but from his like one tree, maybe a little bit. But I wanted, if he's the fucking descendant of TDR, I want him to be fucking nothing but like getting buffs from throwing guns.
Meet our first prototype, DF-191.
Oh,
call me Rafa, sir.
DF-191 here hails from the Seam asteroid belt, yes?
Yes, sir.
So you grew up in microgravity. Your body can't handle a planetary gravity well.
First time I stepped off the shuttle, I fell flat on my face.
And yet here you stand, tall, proud, model of a TDR soldier.
Gracias, sir.
Let's have a demonstration.
That dude looks pretty good without the nose ring, man. That looks like a clean-ass face.
Live Frame is an advanced exoskeleton that enables anyone to survive the battlefield. Right now, the weight of DF-191's own body is betraying him, crushing his lungs. He's fighting for his life, and not for the TDR Corporation.
Lone Syndicate said I also may get an actual desk because currently I am using a folding table and it's reliable but just does look all that appealing to the eyes.
Like a sign folded? Like I work at a shop sometimes. We have a white sign table that like folds like this and you pop it out like that. Yeah, man, get a nice table. That's crazy. Lone got hella waifus on all these games. He got a decent ass PC, and then he's on a fucking plastic table alone. Damn, how's your chair? Okay, you gotta treat yourself, man. Comfort is important. A good desk and a good chair is real good, real important. The waifus can wait a minute. Okay, how many? You look back at those waifus. How many have you not even thought about for a long ass while? Also, Bodhi says, I actually like the trailers too. I think they're doing a good job about like making me interested in each one of the characters. Like, this marketing push is a good one for them. Kill this motherfucker! Come on.
Hey, bastardo. Thanks to the tireless efforts of our scientists and the sacrifices made by DF-191 and his fellow prototypes, Live Frame is a success. Now, there's only one thing
I'm a slave, oh no.
tedious than the lives and honor of our armed forces, the living, breathing backbone of this company. And that is savings. Woo!
What?
Project Live Frame is too expensive.
What?
The board has decided to reduce our overhead in R&D. What's the most expensive part of soldiers? Keeping them alive. The dead frame enables exoskeleton-fitted soldiers to fight even after they perish on the battlefield.
I don't know if the logic checks out. Kind of a weird vibe. Yeah, why not keep them alive, let them die, and then, yep. Anyways.
Tenth of the cost.
I guess you have to keep paying employees. I guess that's the idea, is that you now just have a muscular structure for them to mess with. I don't know.
Come quietly, DF-191.
Lone Syndicate said my chair is great and Grin. I don't want to answer that question. I look back at Genshin like I download Genshin so I could verify my account so it wouldn't get deleted and thought I miss my waifus.
And I thought I meant... Did you though? Did you miss your waifus? Or was it just like you look at them like... Forgotten time. You walk away into the night. I was going to say, I do think Rafa's story... is a little on the nose for the time. Like, old man, billionaire, CEO, tech god, etc. immediately kills soldiers in a very spectacular fashion. And yes, you know.
It's Rafa.
I want him dead!
Wow. Jesus. This is awesome, though. The combat's great. It's very Star Wars. What happened to the other guy?
Lo siento, my friend.
You think your life matters? This is Tedior. Everything we make is cheap, designed, thrown away. Guns, soldiers, we are, all of us, savings.
Oh, that was sad. I always thought he was going to be expendable. Instead, he said savings, because Borderlands, again, will always kill the tension and momentum for a fucking joke, man. Ah, it's still persistent. I was about to ready for him to drop a fucking nuke, and then it's savings. Fucking damn you. Anyways, is this my dog friend?
It's Tedior. Everything we make
Guns
is
have
cheap,
feelings too.
Designed, thrown away. Guns, soldiers, we are, all of us, savings.
Rafa is no one's savings. Rafa is free.
I hope that skin is in the base game. Dude, that skin is perfect for what I want. I like minimalism, basic shit, and clean. That is it.
Rafa is free.
Why did the nose ring have to come with this new drip? All right, I really...
So you perished and rose again to haunt this world.
No. Rafa no está muerto. Dead frame, it is a branding thing.
Well, do you drink blood or...
That's vampires. He's a zombie.
It's not What
He is a okay, a cripple. Anyways,
part aren't you getting? I am alive. See, I have been given a second chance. I may die at any moment. That is why I live carefree. You know, YOLO, as they say.
Yolt, given your supernatural resurrection.
listen, I like Rafa a lot. The personality is not tickling my fancy a little bit, but this guy, which is basically fucking the Kratos, might be the play.
You know what? Fine. Yolt. Ay, son idiotas.
Also, I don't know if I've enjoyed the gag. Like, if there was a guy who spoke Portuguese, like as a interspliced language, I'm not sure if I would really get behind that either. I'm like, I just want to be able to understand you. Like these weird like things that sound like something that I don't understand. I'm also the guy that hates watching subbed anime, so it's maybe this is just a me problem.
Yolt. Ay, son idiotas.
But I didn't understand what that said. I didn't understand any of that. Anyways, I don't mind this one. This one's kind of cool. I still think I put the sirens a little bit cooler from me. I don't dislike the intro though. I don't mind it. What do you guys feel about it? Rafa's trailer I thought was good. Was his name Yolt? I don't know. What is that abbreviated? YOLO, but is it different? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm not sure if I love the Tedior's thing. I always thought Tedior was like a brand based on cheapness. Like, I thought that was the whole point, is that they're like, you done with that weapon, you throw it away. And I hate that they reduced it to savings instead of like, fuck it. like a consumption almost, where it's like the planned obsolescence or whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of angles they went with, but I don't love that angle as much. But anyways, let's see his ability overview trailer. This one we shouldn't have to pause too much because we already know most of the stuff he does. I just want to see how they handled it.
Lord Blazefire 1985 said, sadly, I have to head out. Someone wants to talk to me.
Goodbye, my friend. Enjoy your rest of your day. Hope I can see you again, Lord. Enjoy you and your sexy new hat. All that.
Everything about Rafa is centered around his exosuit, defines everything he is. Everything Tedior is, they're the Walmart of guns. You just use them once and throw them away. So that's kind of the idea of his exosuit is Tedior is just using this soldier, and when they're done with him, they're going to throw him away. But usually, when we look at a character, we try to focus on one little piece of them, and like, could this be an action skill? We start
McFlufferkin said, "Yo, you only live twice."
Oh, I didn't get that. I don't know. Maybe I missed up the. Maybe I wasn't listening. But I didn't. I'm not sure if he said that. Maybe it's his accent that I'm like not able to clearly distinct. I don't know. I didn't get the yoke.
For Rafa's arc knives, what makes that particularly badass is that focus on melee combat. We don't typically do it that much, so having something that just really drives into it and getting into the...
We don't typically do that much, despite in every single Borderlands there's been like dedicated melee builds and guns that reflect melee damage. Like, this is the thing that irritates me about like Borderlands sometimes, is that they just don't make some sense. Well, this game is silly, but by nature, but like the idea, I remember back in the day I heard Randy pitch for his excuse for Wonderlands for why he didn't want to like make like melee weapons like a castable, holdable thing in your hands, was because there's just so many guns, and like what are people just gonna ignore the guns then? And you're just like, what? Like you guys inject it in the game, and then people have builds made it so they just stay in melee mode forever. Like it's just nonsense. It doesn't make any sense.
The mix of things and being able to just cut away at enemies is a much more unique sort of play style than you'll see with a lot of other Vault Hunters. This tree will allow him to do things like buff his movement speed, buff some of his damage, allow the knives whenever you attack people in melee to actually do AoE shot damage, and also do things like replace the dash attack that he has with Elite, changing the element to corrosive.
Let's drop some acid!
Rafa's Arc Knife's action skill puts him in third person, where he becomes this super agile ninja with dual laser swords. He slices his enemies, he marks his enemies to deal more damage to them as he's damaging them, and finally he ends with something we're calling Blade Fury, which just does massive amounts of damage to every enemy.
Yeah, we've seen that spinning blade ones, singularity and all that stuff. Pulls them in and blenders to share them.
For Rafa's Peacebreaker cannons, what makes that particularly badass
I like this one.
is the sort of automatic nature of it. Once you pop it, it allows you to just up your overall DPS, point at whatever it is that you want to see die, and you get to just unload on him.
Keep shooting.
This is kind of an ode to Mose and Axton, where he puts a turret on his back and it just
Ooh,
starts
that's
blasting.
fun. It's an ode to Mose and Axton, which were both great. Well, Axton I always thought was one of the weaker Vault Hunters, unfortunately. But
Away enemies. Eventually, you can start customizing this with rockets, shotguns, or even lasers.
Oh, that was fun. Okay, we're probably going to see that one action skill, the one that had like a laser beam. It didn't look that good.
The Apophis Lance lets you basically set aside a little cannon
This is
and
when everyone
fire
said it was
as
weak.
you need. However, because it does affect
Yeah, everyone said it was weak, but then they also showed that, which I think they changed it to be like super AoE based, so it like
your gun handling a little bit, we wanted to make sure that this is something that feels good when you use it because you're trading a little bit of your gunplay. All the augments focus in on it, allowing you to do things like get more charges for it, so you can fire it more often. Action skill cooldown, crit enemies more often.
Lone Syndicate said,
And
kind of
also
reminds
just
me of
the-
Zane's shoulder cannon.
Yeah, it's exactly that. To me, that's what it is. It seems like more of like it doesn't really give me that vibe. Or give me for Axton. It gives me like a vibe of Wilhelm and Zane. Maybe more. Yeah, maybe Wilhelm and Mose. I feel like that maybe, or Zane and Mose, because Wilhelm and both had like
a general overall buff to it.
One thing I'm known for around the office is I love putting explosions on everything. I try to put explosions wherever I can. If I don't know what to do, add an explosion. So with Rafa, I kind of insisted I wanted him to be all about grenades. So he has a few builds where he just gets to spam grenades constantly for shooting his gun, using his action skill, whatever. He can
Viking guy look cool though. I kind of knew that, but if they're expressly talking about, yeah, he's the grenade guy. His personality isn't that charming, man. Sorry. He should be, because, he's kind of like a Spanish vibe, I think. Not Spanish. I don't know. I don't know, but he has a similar accent to Portuguese people, I think, or similar, like, communication thing. Anyways, but I don't know. I don't like that. The character trailer didn't make me like him. I like Zane. Zane has, like, a fucking badass Irish accent being silly. I can't understand what he's saying.
even double his grenades. I think fans should be excited about Borderlands 4 is because we've expanded on everything we've done previously. With Borderlands 4, with how deep our skill trees are, my character is always just going to be different than your character.
That's awesome. Oh
I
my
think
god,
fans are
that's
gonna
so
be excited
cool.
for Borderlands 4 because of the build diversity.
Oh, the weapons look so sick this time around, man. Okay. It's a real close. Rafa was leading always, but the more I seen the Kratos being able to play like a gun-toting space Viking, which is basically Kratos if he was in like a tech future, is pretty tempting in itself. Just the premise alone. All right, what's this last one? This is the customization option for Rafa pageant
Rafa's
show.
customization definitely leans
Let's see.
into his past as a military experiment. We wanted to show
Ooh.
even the possibilities of how this could have ended up, whether he was blinded in combat or part of a.
Ooh, I love that. So these are like kind of like little variants of like lore that could have parallel universes. Why did he have to keep actually that one I don't hate as much with the piercings. I don't know why. This goes hard a little bit. The two piercings and the nose one, it kind of works.
In combat or part of a more explicit TDR outfit with larger helmets and headgear and all this kind of stuff.
I don't like
In Rafa's
that.
customizations, you can see even helmets that call back to new tales from the Borderlands. The TDO army that shows up and causes havoc in that storyline. We wanted to kind of upgrade and have our own take as well with the improved look of TDR in this game. How does that reflect to his design through all the other experimentation?
That's some Deus Ex shit right there. Is that right, Deus Ex? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That they could have come through.
Let's get ducksy.
I'm not liking a lot of these. I hate to be that guy. A lot of them I'm kind of like, ugh. That was sick. I think, that probably is what it is. It's probably the color palette that I'm not liking. Yeah, because that one I know I seen it and it looks sick, but it's the color palette's like, yeah, weird. Okay, those are good. Does what's her name have that? The girl, the siren? Does she have that cool cosmetic trailer thing? Abilities. She has design. Is there one that shows her like outfits, shorts, official overview?
Lone
abilities?
Syndicate said a hairstyle of the blonde one was fugly.
Yeah, the blonde one. Okay, this is where we're taking a little break from her. Just these Vex. What's Vex's outfit looks like? Fit check. Ew.
Vex as a character, again, she's all about style. We wanted to include, some very awesome, like, sharp cosmetics,
Looks
for new haircuts, headgear.
I like it. I like it. The horns floating is funny.
Glasses.
Cute.
Is jewelry, all this kind of stuff. We wanted to make sure that, it all felt like it could have been the standard look. Like, none of this feels like it was an add-on or an extra. This is just different ways for her to kind of express herself in that moment. So whether it's,
Ooh, I love that.
Cuts in her hair.
I don't like it in games.
Big braids.
Again, I think it's the color thing that's fucking me up. I think all these could look nice if you just get the right color.
Really cool glasses that show her glowing eyes. She's always got it.
Yeah, in game, some of them, the CODs about, you're like, ooh, and then you see it in game, you're like, ew. I don't know if I like that.
There's oozing style. We have an array of vehicles that the players can drive. So one of her cosmetics is a biker helmet that is sleek, matches
she comes across as Edge Runner vibe to me. I don't know, a lot of her style.
So, you can put that on and feel like you are straight out of...
Lone Syndicate said, I like the glasses, the hairstyle is a no-go for me.
Yeah, some of them are not hit or miss.
Japanese manga, yeah.
I hate this
Ooh, I like that one. That was simple. That one's sick. Reminds me of Moses. Like that one. Like, she's very cyberpunk. the whole aesthetic. They didn't show us too much of her like body changes though. Just her head. She got like helmets. It's funny because you can see how like their marketing team is starting to kind of like find the rhythm. But like they start off with like some of the weird cosmetic showcases, and then finally for Rafa they nailed it. We're like, here's the trailer, here's his overview for his gameplay. And then here's his cosmetic trailer, because that was Rafa. We got to see his outfits and his headpieces, which I feel like we only got to see one of hers. Anyways, we watched that. Is this another one for Rafa? No, we're finally on to Amon. Okay. What's good, Dill? Dill says, what's up, everyone? What's good, Dill? We missed you. How are you, buddy? My back. Oh, shit, my back, my body. Everything hurts. Oh, I'm so tired.
Lone Syndicate said they gave Vex a pair of twin tails. I am said yes.
I am set. Say less. All right, this is what I want to see. So this is Amon's official overview trailer for his gameplay kit. I still don't understand a lot of it because I've seen a lot of people up. Why is Roblox up here? Why is this? Why has YouTube done this? Also, it's hidden up there because it's the app. Anyways, there's a weird like Roblox thing on the side there. I hate that. Anyways, regardless, this. So. Amon, there are a bunch of people who made videos about him, and we might quickly run down some skill trees to see what we're dealing with him, because I do believe there's that. What is this? Get away from me. One sec. Ow. Oh, that hurt so much. Ooh. I feel like I blew up my lung there. Ah. Let's watch.
Tippy, I'm coming home! I want it! I want it! I want it! Rejection!
Okay.
I soar upon metal wings!
Okay. Ooh, okay, we gotta slow this shit down. Okay, so this is his twin axe form, where he's got one. Okay, that's fast. This is the thing that's cool, though, to me. I was wondering how this looks like. So he has a shield that he can shoot, kind of like a centurion, and then he has an axe that he can throw two things. The charge one is interesting. That one is one I think I'll play with. This, boom. Looks like Doomfist a little bit. Crucible, Forged in Fire, Frost. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that's an augment, but he has two. He has an electric one. I thought he had fire and ice one, but he has an electric one and an ice one. Punish the Wicked. Is that the one that's supposed to be a whip? I guess it is kind of a whip. Ooh, that's a spear one.
End will be loud and red.
Ooh, that one's kind of sick too. So you got a spear, a shield, and then a hook. Or sorry, then a giant sword. Is that shield his like passive action skill? It seems to be in every one of them. So he might be the tanker. Well, yeah, I think he's entitled to Paladin, which I think applies. Yeah, see, the punch one I think would be just, yeah, you can just bang that out. Yeah. So I think that's the thing that's interesting to me. I'm pretty sure he's kind of Rafa is like the classic, like roaming melee damage, but I feel like feels kind of more like Krieg, where he can like just punch and punch and punch and like except he doesn't have the issue that Krieg had, which Krieg sometimes had to run his ass towards the enemy just to hit them, whereas he's gonna be able to like do a charge punch dash to them, which should be fun. Bang! I don't love that. There's a thing there where there's like a guided melee where like he'll lock onto an enemy punch and then his camera will snap towards them, which I don't like. I think it's right here. Yeah, see his head knocks up like that. Oh wait, I'm confused. Man, I'm not understanding. Does he have a melee augment? Why does he have that thread? So this is his action skill, the punch one. But why does he have this digi thread of light or whatever? This. Yeah. Okay, well that's sick. Is
this the loud ending you wanted?
Oh, and he looks sick. What are we doing, man? What was that? Oh my god, his kid looks so fucking sick. What was that? This is the problem. Like Rafa looks like a really like a optimized good character. Amon looks like all of his action skills look still like so much fun. And I think that's the point. I think that's the other thing I'm not thinking about. I think Amon's whole gimmick is that he has an additional action skill. So he has one thing, that then he has a bunch of other things that he can also use. Whereas everyone else has one action skill pop off and he has multiple.
Ending you wanted.
And there's a whip. Oh my god, that's so cool. That makes the choice harder, man. It's probably a smarter idea to play Rafa first and then Amon second, because I feel like Amon is going to be made by having a full skill tree, because it feels like how he gets stronger is by having skills, where Rafa feels like so long as you have like a good weapon, you're going to be kind of fine, because he has a lot of weapon enhancement skills too. Whereas with Amon, I feel like until you get your action skills scaling, I don't know if that's going to do a lot of damage, but we'll see. That's why I say that may be good for like New Game Plus. Break free. All right, I think we have one more. This is his ability breakdown, which actually I'm happy it's so long, because he's one of the few ones where I still don't understand, because I haven't seen the videos of, so I haven't been like tutorialed through. So how's your week been, Dill? Lone says they gave Vex a pair of twin tails. I'm good. Bully says, not gonna lie, I don't. I couldn't care less about it. Really? Oh man, I feel like I love the be dripped. I guess it doesn't make sense though in hindsight, unless you're playing Rafa, because he doesn't have. There's no real third person in Borderlands, right? Let's see what it's all about. Did I hit play? I did. Oh shit. Shit.
Amon is a ex-cultist turned warrior poet who really, really does not like vault monsters. He is our largest character that we have ever made, even taller than Brick. He's a Viking. He is destruction incarnate. Amon is all about hitting hard and hitting fast. He comes on strong and he pretty much finishes the fight. If you're the kind of guy who wants to get up into people's faces, take down enemies that are larger than you, and look good doing it, he's your guy.
Sounds fire as hell.
Amon cybernetics.
I didn't know he was a fucking ex-cultist, so that goes hard. Like a fucking shaman or something. I guess that makes sense. I thought he was like a war god.
It's all about summoning his weapons. He already summons them in his hands to, slap people in the face, but he can actually also summon autonomous drones. So you can have a floating sword, a floating axe, and a floating hammer.
This shit looked cool to me. This shit went like when he did like this move, when he just summons a bunch of these like drones, and they're just daggers basically, like ice or fire daggers that he like makeshifts. He very much feels like that, like he's a forge master essentially, who like summons weapons.
Kind of tag teaming up against all the adversity that you come across.
McFlufferkin said, Amon seems like the character that took the most inspiration from Wonderlands. Maybe some aspects of Vex too.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it makes sense.
He actually gets what's called the Forge skill.
Hopefully. Melee in Wonderlands was not very good. I tried to like make a Krieg build, and I had to fucking fight to death to make it. So hopefully things are scaled better here. That's the only thing that I'm like, as much as story could be whatever, that's the one thing that I do hope they nail in this game is I hope they introduce things and make them viable, which I think they can be, given like a lot of the stuff I've seen. I still think it'll be like the best, but like there were some things like in even Wonderlands where like it felt so behind, like Melee. Like Melee, you'd have to hack at this boss for so long just to get them to deal damage, and by the time that happens, you get like knocked down because you're still soaking up damage. Whereas you do anything else with spells and you just fucking obliterate everything. So yeah, I hope that everything in Borderlands 3 is scaled well.
Crucible's Forge skill, which is a secondary action skill, will actually see him take both axes, snap them together, and throw them at his enemies. It'll go out, it'll return, and
McFlufferkin
it'll
said, I
hit.
recommend
Ooh,
starting
hammer.
with Eamon and just let me handle Rafa.
Yeah, maybe
Shelterin.
That may not be bad. That may not be a bad idea. Yeah. I think we'll see, because I have a tendency to do this where I pick the character I want first. I kind of enjoy it, and then I pick the character that I think I actually would like enjoy the most. And I think that's gonna be Rafa. I think I'll enjoy Rafa the most, but I think I'm the most interested in Amon. Does that make any sense?
Damage people in both directions, and if it hits any of those axes, it'll also cause massive explosions.
From on Cybernetics tree.
Yeah, I think I'll get my because I played so much Borderlands 3 and I played so much Moe's. I need a it. Yeah, it's been a while since I played a lot of Melee in Borderlands outside of Wonderlands, forcing it.
Really focuses in on his axes, both fire and ice. You have augments that allow you to change out the types.
The drones that come
so
out,
not
that's
only
awesome.
can you throw the axes, which is what you start with, you can also change it to throw hammers, and you can even throw some swords. So, for example, if you decide to stick with the axes, you have one.
Okay. So that basically that's the throw. So the axes are start off as like the throwing weapon skill tree, and that can be changed to axes, daggers, or hammers. Hammers. I wonder what hammers' angle is.
You throw the ice one, you can actually pierce through enemies.
Okay.
Amon's Crucible sees him take out 2 elemental axes. One is fire and one is frost that you can chuck into your enemies to deal massive elemental damage.
Got it.
And if you end up killing them, they'll actually explode.
What makes a Mom's Crucible a really cool skill to use is it kind of sells this sensation of being this big hulking
What? We got the biggest fucking guy ever with a pink tiny gun in his hand.
When you're going around with your 2 forge axes, and you got one with fire, you got one in ice, and being able to just throw them around, pick them up, and chain it between enemies is something that feels really cool to do.
Pretty fun. Yeah, in hindsight, that's probably true too. I was saying that maybe Amon is better, or Rafa is better because eventually he'll be easier to level up. But I think actually that's true for Rafa. I think Rafa is more limited because I think he needs a weapon that's really good, like TDR base or grenades that are really good, and all those things. Whereas I feel like, at least in early games, action skills are usually pretty good.
Amon's Vengeance tree is all about taking lots of damage and dealing
Go
back
Lone
out.
Syndicate
Special
said, I
mechanic
am
for that.
thinking, should Borderlands 4 be the first big game I buy
Hell
on PC?
yes, man. Hell yes. Also, Borderlands is one of the few games I think is always, not always, but usually optimized fairly well. I never have had an issue like running Borderlands usually.
Tree is something called elemental affinities, where
It looks
he
nice.
will actually get rewarded for killing enemies with specific elemental types and doing different elemental
I've
attacks.
seen that.
So he can create a gigantic ground fissure.
So did they give him
to
like a permanent
ignite his
shield?
enemies.
'Cause I don't feel like I've seen that with him a lot, but it looks like he kind of has that.
He can
Maybe that's just with
summon
that tree.
lightning bolts from the sky to zap them. It's a really good time.
Romon's Vengeance tree, this focuses in on his shield. More particularly, there's skills that will allow him to use the
it is
Forge
part of the
Blade
axe.
ability that comes from his shield to explode on enemies. You have something that allows him to taunt, which
Okay, so this is his axes. Okay, so he does have a shield. This is his shield tree. Okay.
really helps.
Oh,
if you're
sword.
actually-
Okay, that's what it is. It's a shield and a whip. I was wondering what this was. It's hard to see. It looked like it was I don't know, something. It looked like a blade tether, but it's not. It's a whip. Gotcha.
Playing with friends, and we do encourage that. You can also throw the shield. For those of you who are familiar with the pre-sequel, that might feel a little familiar to you. There's also the option to use a spear instead of his whip, which when you throw it, it bursts into shock damage.
Amon's
I wonder if that's high single target damage. It must be. I don't really love that. I've heard them say something about that a little bit where like they kind of... I don't like the idea of like, oh, I'm about to go fight a boss. Let me quickly like activate my second loadout of skill tree or like my other augment. I don't love that. I wanted something that works the whole time and maybe a little bit less against like bosses or ad control, something.
Scourge action skill sees him take out a gigantic
Here.
shield to absorb lots of damage,
this one.
which will then actually transform into a elemental whip, where he can take that energy and toss it back at his enemies. The Forge skill
Oh, I can't wait to see people fucking find a way to like deal damage to themselves, hold out the shield, build up their whip.
that is associated with Scourge is actually called Firewall, which
Lone
as the name
Syndicate
might-
said I know 3 games I want to buy as soon as I get my PC up and running, those 3 being Fable, Fallout New Vegas, and Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus.
Good as pick, man. Those sound damn good. I also got emulators to death, so you can go play anything you want. But I was gonna say, man, yeah, it's insane. I thought they talked about like one of their skill trees feels like, especially with his, feels so deep. Like again, out of all the other ones we've seen, I don't think I've seen this much variation of like, oh, this takes your shield and completely changes the way it functions. Oh, this changes your whip
McFluffigan
to be
said
this.
seems like all 3 trees of Eamon appeals to you, while Rafa mostly just has his melee action skill that stood. So I'd say Eamon will be your best bet to main.
Yeah, no, I think I'm leaning more to Amon, but I will say I think Arafa does, like, a lot of his skill trees to me were like really compelling. It wasn't just the melee one; it was all of them. Especially now that we've seen all of them in my head, at least. Like, I know I probably said a lot, but like now that I've seen almost all the Vault Hunters except for one, he is up there for me. But I think we'll play it by year. I'm not sure, but I'm leaning more to Amon.
Imply makes a giant wall of fire that will deal damage to enemies who pass through it, block projectiles that are coming in, and buff your projectiles going out.
What makes this one particularly badass is the sensation of becoming a tank. You get to whip out a shield and also a literal whip. So you get to sit there and just soak up damage either for yourself to give yourself some breathing room, or when you're playing with friends, get in the mix and drag the attention to yourself.
Very cool. I hope he gets his
Amon's
actions come back
Calamity
fast.
Tree is all about bringing the fight to enemies.
Here
Empower
it
your
is.
fist in so many different ways that I think players are really going to enjoy. The main mechanic is to actually cause weakness to your enemies, which makes them deal significantly less damage and take a little bit more damage. And there's specific ways in that tree to make those that you have inflicted weakness upon explode, and it's pretty nice.
For Amon's Calamity Tree, one of the options for this allows you to really up your durability. This particular augment will allow you to buff yourself back up in order to stay in the fight a lot longer. You have the option for the Rocket Punch to change its elements to suit your particular needs. You even have the option to allow the punch to have its own follow-ups in order to
Oh, I thought the punch was a punch. It looks like it's just a projectile.
McFluffigan said his shield tree definitely strikes my fancy the most, followed by the fist. The axes aren't as interesting, personally.
Yeah,
but I'm all in for Rafa.
Yeah, I agree, but I was gonna say that the axes one to me surprised me when you stop doing axes. Like when you do like a bunch of daggers, when you see a bunch of all these little daggers flying around like drones, I'm like, damn, that looks kind of cool.
actually execute enemies that are below a certain health threshold, which I'm personally always a fan of those kind of things. And also has the option to prime enemies, which is a thing that's unique to Amon, which allows him to detonate enemies under specific conditions.
Amon's skill Onslaughter...
Yeah, the axes looks like it's the drone skill tree, whereas the other ones look like they kind of are doing different things. The one's a shield skill tree, and then the other one is a weakened skill tree.
Gives him an empowered fist to punch his enemies and dash across the battlefield. You can use it over and over, and you can use it while you're mixing it up
McFlufferkin
with
said
your
as it
guns.
is. I'm likely to go with Rafa, Harlow, Eamon, Vex as far as character themes.
Yeah, for me it's probably
But we
gonna
still
be...
don't know much about Harlow.
Yeah.
I just like the tech focus.
Yeah, for me right now it's probably Amon, Rafa, and then I'm thinking it's gonna be the little Maliwan lady. Even though I think Vex is awesome, I don't know. Again, all of them are awesome. All of them I would want to do a playthrough of. I just don't know if I have the time.
To get into close
I'll
range
just
with
pick
like
a
a
two.
shotgun, so you can do a 1-2 punch. The associated forge skill with Onslaughter is called Molten Slam, where you see Amon take out a gigantic hammer and just slam it to the ground, causing pretty much elemental devastation all around it.
This one is particularly badass because you get this nice, big, meaty, like fire hammer. Whenever you just get that wind up and that big explosion that happens afterwards once you slam it down is a really satisfying feeling. But also you do get a cool rocket punch as well. Like you do get a couple little things in there, so that's always.
I was gonna say the one thing that made this stand out to me is when he does his punch, then he can immediately follow up with a melee. So instead of it being like punch, you're in an animation lock. It's punch, smash, shoot, punch, smash, shoot. A double barrel, like 2-barrel shotgun that just one shot empties the mag. Woo!
An iron answers.
Yeah, a lot of his skill trees are good. My only reservation is a lot of the times, at least in my opinion, in Borderlands, the scaling for action skill abilities have always felt really hard to attain. Like, your skill tree often doesn't give you a lot of like scaling within your action skill, as well as the like class mods that are usually where that buff happens are not attainable really until later in the game when you can actually like hyper focus on a boss that drops action skills or class mods. Sorry. But yeah, no, he's awesome. I can't wait to see what his actual like trailer is about him. Guys, I think we will watch this Darksiders trailer, which honestly is just them being like, it is happening, it exists. And yeah, I am excited. I'm a little peeved that it doesn't look like Strife got a game, which was the thing I think all of us wanted. And maybe it's for the best because, like, yeah, it also just made sense. Like, yeah, like Darksiders 4 would be about Strife, and then Darksiders 5 would be about all of them coming together. The Four Horsemen finally happened. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe the Four Horsemen is supposed to be with Strife. I don't know. Regardless, maybe it's gonna be like a really flushed out game. Maybe it's also gonna have like, hey, all the characters you love are gonna be here to be able to be played. Maybe. I just am bothered because the one game I wanted of this, out of all the Horsemen, I wanted Strife, so we're not getting that. And, well, we probably are getting that, but just not like a full-fledged game, which is a shame. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I've heard a lot of news also.
And there will be others.
Sorry, I've heard a lot of news recently about, like, dev people who own the IPs of Infamous Second Son and specifically Prototype, them greenlighting footage. Sorry. Greenlighting stuff, those games again, sorry, like a Prototype sequel and a Infamous Second Son sequel. Why? Why is he always sloppy seconds left behind? Also, who gives a fuck about war, man? Strife is the bastard child that looks the coolest and yet has had the least on screen time, essentially. Yes, it's big sad. Also, they're still making House of the Dead games. What the F? Anyways, we will save this for tomorrow, probably. So I wanted to ask you guys, what are we streaming tomorrow? I have no friggin' idea. I wanted to do this stream before we decided because I have no idea. Also, let's do this, and then rinse and repeat this. Aim on, it's really good. Alright, wait, is this now? I want the ability trailer. That was much more fun to have.
Dill the Pickle said, wait, they're going to make another Darksiders.
Yes, that was just announced, I think, today, Dill.
McFlufferkin said there was always a plan to have one of, if not the final game, for Darksiders to be a 4-player co-op game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So at least there's that.
Yeah, maybe it's because, like, yeah, we're not going to be able to afford another game. Like, it's either this or the end. So, yeah, but it's just such a shame that they're like... Yeah, I mean, I did like the One Girls game because I thought it was quite
Lone
good.
Syndicate said Rivals or ZZZ catch up.
Ooh, that's a good idea. The ZZZ catch up is a good idea. I like. Let's see. That would be easy if we just did ZZZ and then Withering Waves because I got to catch up on both of those because Withering Waves I still haven't done the main story and I think that's where a lot of fun stuff happens. Also, big sad with Withering Waves I wasn't able to get the battle Valkyrie lady, so big sad. But yes, maybe it's for the best because maybe the well, I still don't think I'll be able to get the one character. And honestly, I don't think it's actually that bad. Like the buffs that you attain in Withering Waves with the like Electro Girl, I don't think is as drastic as some of the other characters that exist. You know, like I think she gives like 30% extra damage with like Electro, which is nothing. Like there's characters that give like 90% more damage to light attacks, and you're like, what? And it's super needed to make some light characters feel spicy. But I'll have to look more into it. But yes, I like that idea.
G Red said, "Heyo,
what's good, Red? How are you, buddy? Hope you've been taking care of yourself." We've had a lovely stream. We're kind of winding down right now. I'm asking you guys what we should play. I don't want to play anything heavy. I know Risk of Rain is on the list for sure. Probably is what we'll do next week. It's just hard for me to think of like getting excited for something because I'm so tired. So it's like every feeling I have is like deadened severely. But I like that idea.
Said, I will say you missed no events. All events are still active, and you still got a good amount of time to complete them.
Okay, good. For ZZZ? At least there's that. Or Withering Waves.
McFlufferkin said gonna brush my teeth real quick and prep to start my stream before you fully end.
Got it. Hold, be quick. Yeah. Yeah, to round everything off, I am happy as hell to be back. I'm also really happy to make content. At the same time, I'm going to be slowly doing that. I'm not coming back to give a stream. We're streaming normally. But content-wise, I don't want to... again, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow feeling rested, and I'll be like, yeah. But I have a feeling that it'll be pretty groggy for a while there to go. There to come. Especially like for the first 3 days, I'm expecting to feel pretty blasé, tired-wise. But still got to keep on keeping on all that stuff. I hope you guys enjoy the videos that I uploaded when I was not here. A lot of people...
G-Red said, welcome back. How was your vacation?
Ooh, we talked a lot about it in the middle of the stream, so I don't want to regurgitate it too much, Red, but the short of it is, I love my family to death. I was utterly miserable. I found out a lot of stuff about myself. A lot of that stuff had to do with that I don't like... I like the things I know I like, I guess. And I'm happy that I found some of those things, and the level in which I like them is really intense, it seems like, opposed to the other things I found, which weren't very intense. And that's okay. It's a whole bunch of stuff to get into basically really quickly, but I'm the best way I can describe it is I didn't get a lot of the stuff that I wanted on the vacation, but I got a whole hell of a lot in terms of what I needed and stuff that is really helpful to know about me. Self-reflection aside, it was an experience that I got enough out of it to where I would probably do it again. Although it was like a $2,000 or $1,800 plane ticket, so that's painful. But anyways, could have spent that on a lot of things. But anyways, again, I'm happy that I could spend time with my family. That was the highlight to me. Seeing my grandparents, talking with my brothers, all those things were great. But yeah, I am so. Let me put it this way. If I never have a vacation in my entire life, and like an omniscient God was saying like, hey, you'll have to work every day without like by work I mean like get up and go to a job for like 5-10 hours, I would not be like, oh no. I'd be like, oh, okay. I do not enjoy the aimlessness of that. Even I do my best to try to take off Sunday to not do anything. Because I think it helps me like be excited to do a lot on Monday and like be energized through the week. I find if I don't take off Sunday, sometimes I feel like my brain's like slow. But yeah, Sunday is the same thing. I should have known that. Where like the Sunday where I try not to do anything, I just try to like read manhwa and watch some YouTube videos. Halfway through the day, I feel like depressed because I haven't achieved anything. So it's a little hard for me. But I should have thought, no, this is going to be a hard vacation because it's but 3 weeks. But alas, I am still happy I went on it, despite it being kind of hard. And it sounds like an asshole thing to say, by the way. Like, I know, you went on vacation in a beautiful place for 3 months, and you said it was difficult. It was really difficult. So I know that's maybe odd, but yes. I'm happy that I will be here. Also, Red, this is the cool thing I should show you. What do you call it? Check out this cool souvenir that I got. Look at that cup, baby. Dope as hell mug. And I got another one that is slightly different. Very neat. Very neat. All that. Hopefully they don't break, because I do think there's like made. Yeah, like, you have a handmade thing with paint and shit. Could be a factory type vibe, but still. Look at that again. Have you seen the Amon stuff, Red? Because damn, that shit looks cool, man. It's again, they've done a really good job of making me not sure who to play. W Cup, thank you. Thank you, Boldy. But yeah, all the characters are so appealing. I'm wondering, I think either the like Mollywan Trooper looking girl is either going to be like super endearing or like really not my cup of speed at all. I think she might be the like a fucking miss, because I'm not a big fan of the elemental characters usually, which is why I don't play the sirens too often. That's just not my thing. But maybe she gonna be different. Again, a lot of them seem pretty great, but Harlow is either gonna be like the, oh my god, like she cut her path easily, or not for me. You know. Cool. We W Cup, the what? The what do you call it? Amon, this guy who in Borderlands 4. Yeah, I wonder when they're gonna release Harlow. Probably we still got quite a while. I was saying that before I left, where like there's a surprisingly high amount of time between the games coming out. We have Outer Worlds, which I'm excited for. I think that's coming out first, and then we have Borderlands 4. Oh no, you're not interested in Borderlands? I thought you were someone interested in Borderlands 4. Maybe I'm misremembering someone else who said that. But I was like, I know Red doesn't enjoy what is it called? First-person games, or not enjoy, but doesn't enjoy them as much. So I was like, oh, but I thought Borderlands was the exception, but maybe not. Maybe not. I will say I missed the no events. All activities are good, still good to go. Yeah, for that, yeah. Is there anything else I missed to tell you guys about? I don't know. Oh, I'm not interested in that character. Females. Oh, I see. So it's either the Siren or the Maliwan Trooper. So probably the Maliwan Trooper because you weren't really a fan of the what's the name? The Siren lady. Actually, I don't know if you. I don't know. I think it's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. In hindsight, that's crazy to say it loud. Yeah, I mentioned the fact that we were on the first class plane ride because we got upgraded from basic bitch to first class. Which was an experience, by the way. Holy shit! Although as much as it was an experience, I didn't have any desire to like spend money. Like you can't spend like $2,000 for that. So I'm like, no, way more than that. Sorry, way more than that. Just in like first class, and I'm just like, yeah, hell no. I think I got it. I can show you guys everything. Yeah, we're good. I didn't buy many souvenirs. I kind of saved my money for a program that I wanted to buy, which is like a text or speech-to-text program.
McFluffican said BL4 due September 12th, Outer Worlds 2 due October 29th.
Yeah. So wait, October should be first. What's fuck? Is this say August? Or this month August? I think it's August. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you call it? Fluff, are you streaming? Hit live. Hit live. I'm tired and I'm falling apart. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm subsisting on like, I don't know what the actual time is, maybe like 30, I don't know what it is, maybe like 39 hours, 38 hours, something like that of not sleeping. So I'm hanging on by a thread, and that energy drink and coffee is leaving my system. So I have to leave you, but we'll be streaming tomorrow, probably ZZZ. Yeah, it's going to be ZZZ and Withering Waves on Saturday, but Withering Waves is probably going to be supplemented with half Withering Waves and then half React. But I need a full stream to catch up on ZZZ, sorry. Because I'm hella behind on that. And I missed the time horizon for the Umbrella Girl, which makes me depressed because, Jesus Christ, literally couldn't play ZZZ. It did not let me. Stupid account, not linking bullshit aside, pain, suffering, all that. Fluff, are you live? Ugh. Ow. I fucking smoked my thumb. But by the way, TLDR, I miss this. I miss you guys to pieces. Dude, I probably wondered if I could have streamed like with really shitty internet, but it wouldn't have been great. But it would just be my phone. And I thought maybe, but I thought I want our streams to actually be like fun. I don't want to be like sitting in like, hey guys, like an Instagram reel or some shit. I want it to actually be like, we're doing something, and we're looking at something, we're reacting to something. But see, I could have done it for like probably 20 minutes of like reacting to Amon's skill tree. That could have been fun. I don't think we could do that for 20 minutes, but still. That was the other thing about the vacation. It was so rampant about like, we're doing this, and that it felt so chaotic that like we didn't have time to do anything else. So like when we got back at the end of the day, it was just crazy. Also, it was so hot. There's other variables for why maybe it was just not that highlight for me in a lot of ways. Again, love my family, love hanging with them. That was the highlight. But just the activities and just the state that you're always like in borderline heat stroke and you're like never stopping to smell the roses. You're just going. But yes. Okay, I need a manhwa. Shit. Which one's... Can you hold out tomorrow, Bolty? Let me quickly... I know Fluff's live right now. Fuck, sorry, Fluff. I gotta help Bolty. There's gotta be one I can think of in the list of ones I've kept. Oh, I got one for you. This one's easy. This one's an easy, good watch.
McFlufferkin said you should be able to redirect whenever you wish.
How do I do that, Fluff? I don't think I... Yeah, do I copy your stream? I forgot how I looked up how to do this. I thought it was... I had to embed it in my stream first. So I'm gonna have to do that again. I'll figure it out. I'm just trying to find this damn... What is it? It's like this cursed one. It should... I titled it something unique. Where is it? I will find it. Is it that? It's one of these. There it is. Okay, it's this one. F rank fortune teller. Check this one out. It sounds corny, but it's pretty fucking good. I'll slap it in the message thing. Here you are, Botti. It's loading. Give me a sec. Goddammit. Load. It is pretty good. It's a little bit of a slow burn, as every manhwa is. So forgive me for that. All right, let me look. How do I forward? It's not easy. Let me customize. Redirect. Add. Boppity boppity. This. I think I'm doing it. Please work. There we go. Did that not go? Hit enter. Will it go now? Nope. There it is. All right. Save. All right. I will end the stream and we will redirect it to Fluff Stream. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I've missed you to pieces. I cannot wait to stream. I cannot wait to make content for you and to work. Because Jesus, that is where I am the happiest and feel the most meaning in my heart. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for keeping up with me and waiting for me and surviving. Oh, also thank you for Fluff for streaming so much. I'm actually kept you guys well taken care of. So enjoy the rest of your day and go to hang out with Fluff for the remaining hours of your day. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There we go. You. I've lost the Y. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Love you to pieces. Hope I can see you again. And goodbye. See you tomorrow.